Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORIONNWSF or the YouTube super chat right here. We got the Colorado Rockies versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in just a few minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left for the Rockies is DHing Tyler Freeman. And on the right, our superstar stud in center field, Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Colorado Rockies. Leading off for the Rockies in right field, Mickey Moniak. Batting second, catching today for Colorado, Hunter Goodman. Batting third, playing first base for Colorado, Blaine Krim. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Jordan Beck. Batting fifth, playing shortstop for the Rockies, Ezekiel Tovar. Batting sixth, playing center field, Brenton Doyle. Batting seventh, playing third base, Kyle Karros. Batting eighth, DHing for Colorado, Kyle Farmer. And batting ninth, playing second base, Ryan Ritter. And on the mound for the Rockies with a 0-4 record, an ERA of 9.17, it is McCade Brown. And now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, big dumper Cal Raleigh. 58 home runs, 2 more to 60, 4 more to tie Judge, 5 to beat him. Let's go, big dumper. Batting third, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing third base, good vibes only, Eugenio Suarez. Batting seventh, DHing for Seattle, Dominic Canzone. Batting eighth, playing right field, Victor Robles. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Seattle, J.P. Crawford. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 4-5 record, an ERA of 5.58. It's Miller time. It's Bryce Miller. And again, the magic number for the Mariners will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Obviously, we know the Rockies are one of the worst teams in baseball, 43 wins, 113 losses. 18-57 on the road. So again, based on that, I know we do play down to the competition, but we need to win these last 6 games or at least try to go 5-1. And we shouldn't lose anything to the Rockies in these last 3 games, especially winning 2 games on the road with the Braves that kind of jump-started this big run. We were winning 2 out of 3 against the Royals on the road. And then what do? We go into Houston, our rival, and we show them who's boss, and we win all 3 and we sweep them in H-Town. So we got to get the job done, sweep the Rockies, take it game by game. We win today. Yankees win today. We're in the playoffs. And again, it's all about winning the division. And as we get closer and closer to the sweep, we'll see where we're at. And hopefully we'll be a top 2 seed with the Blue Jays, and we'll have a first round bye, and we'll see where it goes from there. And then once we get to the Dodgers series, we'll try to win the first game. If we do that, try to win that second game. And if we end up beating the Dodgers in the first 2, then we can start talking sweep. But we got to be thinking about going 5-1 at the very least. 6-0 is kind of what's desired, right? I mean, not anyone really thought that we could go into Houston. Even us loyal Mariner fans were thinking 2 out of 3, but we were hoping for the best. And again, the Mariner bat stepped up. The pitching has been great. The defense has been immaculate. Really, the only thing that's been a little shaky is our bullpen with Brash and obviously Carlos Vargas giving up, 4 runs. And when you do that, sometimes you win. Carlos Vargas, when you do it, because we're up 6-0 and we end up winning 6-4. And sometimes we lose when you give up 4 runs when we're up by 1, and then we just can't make up the difference, in an inning and a half. So we'll see where it goes. Definitely very excited. It's been hard to sleep these last few days. And again, this is the thing that we've all been waiting for, Mariner fans, whether you've been a fan for, 5 years or less, or if you've been a fan of 30 years or longer like myself. It's a very exciting time. This is the best team that we've had, since 2001. Let's go for it, and let's see if we can get some deep playoff push here starting today. All day in the building, what's good? Cool Kid in the building, what's good? Andrea in the building, Tyler in the building, Navis in the building, Daniel in the building, JC, Larry, Zay in the building, Mike in the building, what's good? First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. And for everyone that's in the room that's a regular, you know the deal. All day we'll hold it down, but everyone else can participate and help us hit our numbers. Obviously, we'll be shooting for 5 to 15 subs, 100 on the likes, and 100 on the Dono train. Big swing and a miss there by Mickey Moniak, the former Angel, if that name seems familiar. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Moniak. Let's go, baby. Cody in the building, what's good? John in the building, what's good? All the games are at home. Again, our road trip is over, so we're finally here. And let me actually refresh things here because it seems like the scoreboard did not refresh. So let me give it a quick refresh here. Usually it does it on its own, but, it's ESPN, so. All right, here we go. Should be good now. 2-1 pitch, popped up. And Robles and Julio are there. And Victor says 1 away. Good defense there by Victor Robles. And down goes Mickey Moniak. 1 away. Next up is catcher Hunter Goodman. Bryce Miller on the mound. Hunter Goodman in the box. Let's go. And again, it was kind of crazy going from last year's squad to this year. As I was prepping, I had nobody to use for an old thumb. I had to try to make new ones out of Rocky players, and this roster is completely different from last year. I had to kind of go through each name, and I was looking through my Rockies file, and most of the guys that are on the team now weren't even on the team last year, besides maybe a couple. So it took me a little bit longer to prep, but we are here. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Pops it up, fading foul. Good souvenir for those fans there in the front row towards the third base and left field. Julio Rodriguez fan with the City Connect jersey got the ball in the front row. He's sitting there with his fam, and they're all giving him high fives. He's got the vicious beard going on. I love it. Top of the first inning, 0-0, Rockies and Mariners. Jacob in the building. What's good? JC, I don't think Amo was the only one that went wild. I mean, he wasn't even in the picture frame. We thought, Julio's going to try, but if he misses, then we're probably going to lose, and that's going to score, 1 or 2 or how many more that inning. And, Victor really did save the momentum, at that point moving forward. And, again, we have to be very blessed. We have guys that are going to give everything they got and sacrifice their bodies like he did in San Francisco, where he missed most of the year. And, again, he hit his first home run recently. So, good things coming for the Mariners here. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Goodman. And if you follow MLB, ABS got approved for the 2026 season. Not for every pitch, but there will be challenges. And if you win challenges, you keep them. And if you go to MLB.com or follow them on social media, it'll go into more explanation on what we're going to be able to get moving forward. So it'll hold some of these umps that are lazy and bad accountable, which is good for the game. But if we get too many challenges, it may stretch the game to 2 hours and 30 minutes to back to 3 hours and longer, especially if there's silly challenges. But we'll see. 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled off towards the third base line by Hunter Goodman. And he's arguably their best player on the roster at this point. Flying Monk in the building. What's good? 2-2 pitch. crushes that one, foul. Four-seam fastball with some high heat there, 96 miles an hour by Bryce Miller. And again, when we're playing a team like this, we have had the tendency to play down to the competition. But again, with everything that's on the line, understanding that we have to give everything we got, Brian Wu is not going to be starting game number 3 against the Rockies. Again, they're just going to let him rest that pec, and a slow dribble to JP. Kind of a wild throw to Naylor, but he's able to go down to a knee, do a half split, and get the out. Thank God we have a great first baseman in Nails, the big grumper, Josh Naylor. 2 away. But again, it's just precautionary. He's not going to need surgery, and we're not going to have to put him on the IL. So realistically, we'll probably see Wu possibly in the Dodger series. If not, it'll be in the playoffs. And again, based on, if we clinch and where we're sitting, again, we don't want to rush him back because we're going to need Wu if we're going to try to make a World Series push. Pumped up by Krem. And that one just goes into the front row. That looked like Victor could have had it, but didn't want to go into the crowd. And that was 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. The most exciting time for us Mariner fans since obviously 2022, which was the first year that we made the playoffs in 20 plus years. But again, we've only had 4 or 5 good years in the last 40. 1995 with the 95 slide with Griffey, 97 with the Griffey AL MVP, 2001 our best year besides this year, Ichiro's rookie year, 2022 when Cal had the walk-off against the Athletics and we beat the Blue Jays in the playoffs, and obviously this year in 2025. But I do believe we're going to have many, many playoff years from here on out. And again, it may not be every year, but we should be able to go on a run, hopefully, where we can make the playoffs consecutive years, hopefully in a nice little run starting this year. Pitch is a big swing and a miss, high and away to Krim. 0-2 pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball missing the zone by inches. 97 miles an hour there by Bryce Miller. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Blaine Krim. Let's go, Bryce. Let's get it, baby. And broken bat. Julio is there. And the no-fly zone says not today. Easy 1-2-3 inning against this Rocky team. And let's see what we got cooking here for the Mariners in the bottom of the first. I didn't get a chance to kind of reload all of my other photos, so I'll do that kind of as we go. I got like the basic ones for the starting lineup, but then I had to, to make this thumbnail, and it took a lot longer than expected. But as we go throughout the commercial breaks, I'll be able to get more sprinkled in. Nice job there by JP and Julio getting the job done with defense. And we see you leading off for the Mariners here in the bottom of the first inning. Arende Arasarena batting second. Big dumper, 58 home runs, the best catcher in the game, battling Aaron Judge for MVP. Let's go big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And obviously if Cal can multi-homer once, that will give him a good chance to tie Judge with maybe 4 home runs in 6 games. But if he doesn't multi-homer, at all in these last 6 games, then we're going to be hoping that he still gets to 60 and hits 2 home runs in 6 games. But, hopefully the bat is alive, and best case scenario, he multi-homers once or twice and gets 5 home runs in 6 games, 2 in one game, maybe 2 in another, 2 against the Dodgers, maybe 2 against the Rockies, and 1 anywhere in between. And if he gets 5, then he'll end up sitting at 63 above Aaron Judge. Now we know how difficult that's really going to be, and that's like best case scenario if he can heat up here. And he is going to have about 25 to 30 at-bats. So if he can hit 5 home runs out of like 25 to 30 at-bats, it is possible. Cal has been hot, and hopefully he can get to at least 60. And again, if he gets to 60 like tonight and he hits 2, then obviously shooting for 62, 63, tying Judge or trying to break it would be an awesome goal. But anything at 60 and above as a catcher, or any player for that matter, is insane. First pitch by McCade Brown. In there for a strike. And again, this might be one of the most lopsided matchups. 0-4 with a 9.17 ERA. So if we can't hit off McCade Brown, then obviously there's a lack of focus. We need to make sure that we're getting hits, early and often, RBIs, and hopefully a few home runs within the first 5 or 6 innings. 0-2 pitch, low and away, and that would mean the players need to work the count. We need to make sure that we're not swinging wildly at the first couple pitches, have everyone work the count, especially on a guy that's got an ERA of almost 10. 1-2 pitch, high and away. And this is a good sign for Randy here in a 2-ball, 2 count, 2-ball, 2-strike count here early. Normally, Randy's already out by pitch 2 in his first at-bat, or pitch 3 at the most. So 2-2 pitch, and does he get hit? Oh, off the knob. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arosarena. Come on, Randy. Two pitch. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Randy, and his struggles continue as a leadoff hitter. McCade Brown, 0-4 with a 9.17, looking like 4-0 with a 2.17. Bring that electricity for the Rockies. I see you, McCade Brown. 1 away. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. And we're hoping that he'll go yard here or at some point in this game. And again, the magic number would be 60 home runs. But again, if he can get to 62, it's possible. But he'll have to multi-homer at least once in these last 6 games. Multi-homer in one game, let's say he does it today, then he'll have 5 games to get 2 home runs. That seems like kind of realistic if he was able to get the 2 at some point in these last 6 games. If not, he'll probably hit 2 to 3 home runs, at least that we're hoping. I would assume 2 at the very least against these, last 6 games. And I guess worst case scenario, he hits 0, but I highly doubt that would happen. If he's going to bat 30 times, 25 to 30, you would assume he'll hit 1 at the very least, but, hopefully 2 is the minimum, because we want that 60. 60 sounds sexy, no matter who you are. And it's a very short group that has hit 60, and half the guys that have hit 60 cheated. So, you're going to actually get up there with guys like Judge, who didn't cheat, Cal, Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, and then the other guys, Sosa and Bonds, McGuire, they cheated, so they don't count. So again, having Cal and Judge in this era, past the steroid era, it's a big deal. You're hitting Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, type of numbers, not, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, McGuire, cheater numbers. The numbers are there, and it was an exciting time for baseball fans. Don't get me wrong. It got me tuned in even more back then. But again, if we're talking about legacy and, going to the Hall of Fame, we don't want to celebrate guys that cheated. We want to celebrate the guys that did it the right way. 0-2 pitch. Cal fouls that one off, back-to-back on a curve and a sinker. No balls and 2 strikes from Brown to Raleigh. Yeah, Tiger fans hitting a wall. They might have the biggest meltdown out of any team. And obviously the Guardians having one of the hottest hot streaks, obviously after the All-Star break, as Cal almost gets hit there by Brown, has to do a hop, skip, and a jump. And did that actually hit him? Let me look here. Oh, yeah, it did. It hit him right there in the foot. So Raleigh hit by the pitch, and that's not what we want to see. We want to see Raleigh hit bombs. And again, when you got a guy who's 0-4, an ERA of 9, almost 10, shit's going to happen. But let's see if Julio can end up, doing some magic here. He's due for a home run. Obviously, getting off to an early 2-0 lead with one of these tridents up would be fantastic. But we just have to take one game at a time. We can't look forward to the Dodgers or, the playoffs. We just have to, keep our focus one game in. We know that this team is terrible. 43 wins, 113 losses, 18-57 on the road. One of the worst that we've seen in the last decade. But we do play down to the competition at home and on the road. So we don't want, this team to think, if we end up being close late in the 8th and it's like 1-1 or 2-2 that they are going to win. So hopefully we can strike early and strike often. Let them know all day. 1-0 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Two-0 pitch, high and away. Good patience here by Julio. And normally, in this situation, Julio's already out. Same thing with Randy, overly aggressive in the first 2 to 3 pitches. So again, as we get further along, with the Rockies and the Dodgers in the playoffs, really working the count is going to get the pitch count up, for the other player. And that gives us a chance to get him out earlier in the 5th inning rather than the 6th, bring in a guy that has a meltdown, and then we take over. So it's simple as that. The more patience we have, the deeper we're going to go this year. And nice job by Julio taking the walk, being patient. Next up, it's Nails, a.k.a. the big grumper, Josh Naylor. See if we get a 3-run bomb here out of Naylor, or an RBI single or an RBI double. Let's see if we can get on the board. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes. Once we get that, we'll go for 200. 100 on the dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Once we hit 5 to 15, then we'll go from 15 to 30. And then 15 to 30, 30 to 50. Let's go Naylor. McCade Brown on the mound. Josh Naylor in the box. First pitch, Naylor crushes it into left field, but fading foul. Let's go, baby. Let's go, M's. 0-1 pitch right down the middle. No balls, 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. Somebody's got to hold it down for the Mariners, and again, whether you be a fan of, just recent years within the last 5 or the last 10, or some of us that have been fans for 20, 30, 40 plus years, we've been dreaming, about a team this good since 2001, and it's definitely worth the wait. And again, a lot of people are projecting, the Mariners as one of the top favorites to make it to the World Series, which is kind of exciting. Double play, throw to first, and not exactly what we wanted there. And that's the end of the inning. But again, like I've said in the past, if we get guys on board and they don't come home, and we end up unfortunately hitting into a double play like Naylor did there, what it typically means is the next inning or the inning after is when we hit the home run or when we bring those guys home. So obviously a little disappointing. You're playing the Rockies. You want to get on the board early, but we have to be patient. And eventually those runs will come. We will get a few home runs. We will get some RBIs. And again, we have to just wait till the 2nd or 3rd inning for that explosion inning of 1 to 4 runs. This guy's 0-4 with an ERA of almost 10. So at some point, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Rockies in the top of the 2nd inning. Next up for the Rockies, left fielder in the 4-hole, Jordan Beck. Batting second, shortstop in the 5-hole, Ezekiel Tova. And batting third, center fielder, Brenton Doyle. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. It also helps that we have the best record in MLB after the All-Star break. If you can go 20-3 or something of that nature, it doesn't matter who you play at that point. The fans are some of the best in MLB, very intelligent, very passionate. And yeah, we may not, have never, made the World Series, but that's not going to take away from the fandom that this organization has. And there's a lot of frustration, with the GM and the ownership and 54% and all that. But again, it kind of feels within the last couple of years that we're finally kind of turning the corner, picking up Randy at the deadline, picking up Gino and Naylor at the deadline, having a great farm system, drafting Kate Anderson, amazing. Durangelo's looking good in the farm. Lazaro Montes and many others are working their way up. Colt Emerson in AAA now for the Tacoma Rainiers. So again, it's very, very exciting to be a Seattle Mariner fan in 2025. And let's see if we can keep them at a 0 and get on the board in the bottom of the 2nd. First pitch from Miller to Beck, incoming. First pitch right down the middle, 0-1 count. It's pretty packed. Again, I mean, normally if we're playing the Rockies and we're not in playoff contention, there probably would be half of the people that are there now. But obviously, every game matters, so it's a packed house. And again, it's probably the only time the Rockies are going to have a packed house throughout their whole year, just because of the Mariner playoff implications. And obviously, the Dodger series is going to be insane. There's the stadium will probably be half Dodger fans, in there if they can find a ticket from, some of the Seattle fans that are, willing to sell. But, still going to be a good home field advantage for us. But definitely there'll be a lot more Dodger fans in the building than Rocky fans there. Pitch fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Beck. 0-2 pitch, takes a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a 1-2 pitch. And a dribbler towards third base. Run, Randy, you lazy ass. Golly, God, he's just jogging. And again, if he would have actually hustled, that might have been a single. But of course, he's lazy and slow. Doesn't throw it in with any type of purpose into the infield. Jogs to the ball in left field. And that turns into a double. And every single time he does that, doubles could be singles. But he's lazy. And then obviously triples could have been doubles. But he just doesn't care. And it irks me, man. Like, I know at some point we're not going to have Gino and we're not going to have Garber, but I can't wait for the day where maybe Victor Robles moves over to left, Julio's in center, and then we'll have Lazaro Montes in right. And then maybe we don't have to worry about this laziness. And I mean, I love Randy in the box, but golly, his defense is fucking terrible. And no one ever says anything to him. So he just continues to be lazy out there. And eventually that's going to come back to bite us. Throw to third. And we got the force out there. Should have probably went to third instead, but, again, a little bugaboos here early. Bryce could have had that out at third if he just turned around, but it is what it is. At least he ended up getting the throw to first, and now it is 1 away. Oh, Randy. 1 out and a runner at third. Nice sacrifice by Tovar. Big swing and a miss by Brenton Doyle, 0-1 count. I mean, I get it. It's hard to be a defender at first, second, short, and third. But what's the excuse of being a lazy defender in the outfield? Julio and Victor sacrifice their bodies and go all out. Why does Randy not do the same? Is he a diva? Does he think that Randy Land is bigger than Julio in the no-fly zone? I'm very confused. Does he think he's the best guy out of those guys out there? Because newsflash, you're replaceable, and again, we like you, based on what you do in the box, but God, your defense is some shit. Pitch fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Doyle. And again, if we end up in a playoff series and there's a lot of hits, in that area from like the Blue Jays, from Springer, Vlad, Bo Bichette, we're going to be fucked. Because again, those are going to turn into extra bases every time a ball hit over there, unless someone actually tells him to stop doing that. But apparently the coaching staff has either not said anything or has, and he just doesn't care. Pitch fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brenton Doyle. And we got to be locked in. If we're trying to win the division, if we're trying to make the ALDS, ALCS, the World Series, that fucking laziness, that bullshit is unacceptable. And again, I know Randy has been a big popular player for the Tampa Bay Rays, but that shit might have flew over there. This isn't fucking Tampa Bay. All right, this is Seattle, and we expect more. Big swing and a miss. And down he goes with that splitter there. See you later, Brenton Doyle. Nice job by Bryce Miller. At least we get one Mariner that knows how to do their job. Way to bring that electricity, Bryce. And now that is 2 away. Let's keep this runner stranded at third. Shouldn't even be at third, should be at second. But, it is what it is. Next up, third baseman Kyle Karros. I mean, hopefully we can actually go a full game without me bitching about Randy's D, but I feel like if you don't have access to watching, you have to know, if you're watching the game or not watching the game, it needs to be pointed out, and defense has been stellar for the Mariners in the infield, right? First base, second base, shortstop, third base. Has there been some plays by Gino and JP that have been suspect? Yeah, but it's a hard position to play. But, there's no excuses when you're in left field, when the ball is just, lightly dribbling to your area. Doesn't take, just about discipline. I wish he would have it. Big swing and a miss, high and away by Karros. No balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the second. Runner at third with 2 outs, 0-0, Rockies and Mariners. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Unfortunately, Randy isn't good enough to be the DH, though. You know, there's going to be other guys like Polo or like Leo Rivas, you know, that I think that would be better. So it's like, you know, his bat sometimes is good, but I don't think he's a very good leadoff hitter. I actually would replace him with someone else. You know, maybe J.P. Crawford or even Victor Robles. I think the lineup would be flowing a little bit better, and you punish Randy and you put him down lower in the lineup, and I think it would work better. But him as a leadoff hitter, he's not very good. You know, I really preferred Victor when he was healthy. Even JP, I think, is a better leadoff hitter than Randy. And again, Randy gets hot from time to time. It's not like he's like a dog shit player. I mean, Randy, you know, has a skill set to get 20 to 30 home runs, but he definitely is a one-way player. He only cares about offense, does not care about D. 2-2 pitch, crushes it into right field, Karros, and that's fading foul into right field. You know, but obviously Victor Robles isn't really, I mean, he hit his first home run, but, you know, Victor isn't really locked in offensively, you know, since he missed all that time throughout the year. So I understand why they didn't put him back, you know, over Randy yet, you know, but, you know, again, as we're going further, you know, deeper into the playoffs, you know, moving JP or Victor to the leadoff spot, I think would produce more for us. You know, stealing bags and, you know, getting that first guy on so that maybe Cal could hit a 2-run homer. And then if Cal gets on, maybe Julio hits a 3-run homer instead of just Randy not getting on. And then we just have to hope for the solo dinger from Cal and Julio in that situation. And we know JP can be streaky as well. Same thing as Victor. But I think it's just kind of inner belief that we feel that those guys might be better as a leadoff hitter than Randy at this moment, since he just filled in when Victor got hurt. So 3-2 pitch. Little slow dribbler up the middle. Get it! Smothered. Throw to first. Safe. Damn it. So close. Good effort there by the Mariners on that defensive play, but Karros with the big base hit there. Off a one hopper, too. And too quick for Polo. I think Leo Rivas would be a better decision. And that brings in the run from third, 1-0 Rockies. You know, it's like we only have so many pieces that we could put at DH, obviously, as well as an everyday player. And again, if Randy's defense wasn't so shitty, that player wouldn't have scored. He's probably would be at second base right now, not at third coming home. So didn't trail against the Astros, and we trail here against the Rockies, and you have Randy to thank for that. Kyle Farmer fouls that one off. No balls and 2 strikes from Farmer to Bryce Miller. Come on, baby. I was thinking that same thing. You know, someone can look that up to see if that is, you know, his dad or, you know, or if he's related. Karros is not a very common name in baseball, and we obviously have heard of that name in the past, right? So... but someone could look that up and let us know if that is the case. That was my initial thought when I was doing the lineups earlier today. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off himself. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Miller to Farmer. I love the ABS coming in. I wish that if they had the technology, I would want it to be for every pitch, because then you would not be able to have these shitty, old, blind, lazy umps that shouldn't be doing it anymore, having grudges against players and teams, and you could hold them accountable. Big swing and a miss. Got him. There we go. Nice strikeout there by Bryce Miller. But again, I do like that the ABS is being implemented. Obviously, if you win challenges, you keep them. And then obviously you're going to get the extra one in like extra innings. The only concern that I have is that you're going to get teams challenging dumb things that don't need to be challenged. And if we get too many challenges, you know, by these teams that are, you know, trying to work the system, so to speak, we're going to get back to having games be 3 hours and 30 minutes. So hopefully certain teams are going to be responsible on, you know, when to do it, because it's going to be based off the pitcher, the hitter, or the catcher, calling for, one of these right here. You tap the helmet and then you challenge. So, I mean, as long as we get players that are responsible, then we're going to be good to go. The game won't change that much and we're going to get the calls correct. But if they abuse it, then the games are going to go long. And I don't think anyone wants to watch a 4-hour baseball game. I love baseball, but I like it, in this kind of 2 hour and 30 minute, 2 hour and 45 minute, once in a while, 3 to 4 hour game, like if it goes extra innings. But I do like that we're finally implementing the ABS because as anyone knows, as a baseball fan, even though that Angel Hernandez is retired, it feels like his whole family, cousins, brothers, sisters, aunts and uncles, they're still umping out there, right? It's like, you get like maybe one good ump every like 5 to 10 games. And again, if someone's going to be traditionally bad, they're going to be hopefully bad for both. But you can definitely tell the favoritism, and the grudges that some of these umps hold on the players when they say something, like when they're, questioning a strike call or arguing with the ump. And it's supposed to be, right down the middle. But we can clearly see that's not the case all the time. Sarah with a $5, appreciate you getting the dono train started. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang, we're at 5. 95 to go to hit the dono train. Appreciate you very, very much. And we gained 2 subs already. 95 to go to 22,200. First pitch to Polo, takes a strike looking high and away. 0-1 count. Let's go, Polo. And again, we're going to need some home runs. Again, once we get those first 2 home runs, and then the game will open up. Pitch fouled off, high and away with the changeup. No balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Pitch is high and away with a sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco, who is due for a home run. Polo crushes that one into left field, fading foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brown to Polo. And again, remember, McCade Brown 0-4 with an ERA of 9.17, which is the highest, I believe, that we've faced this year. We've had guys that have looked like they've had an ERA of 9 or 10, but not actually have an ERA of 9 or 10, and this might be the first guy. But again, when you're 43 and 113 and you're 18 and 57 on the road, obviously this is one of the worst teams in baseball, but they're still going to get some of our guys out, just like Polo right there. And big strikeout swinging right down the middle, and down he goes, and that is 1 away. Blue Jay in the building, what's good? Next up, good vibes only, third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. First pitch to Gino. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Come on, Gino. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Brown to Suarez. We know you can do it defensively, but we're going to need that bat to open up. Let's go, Gino. Good vibes only. 1-1 pitch. Low and away. Did they call that strike? No way. Come on. That should have been a ball. Terrible late call with a little finger point. 1 ball and 2 strikes should have been 2 balls and 1 strike. Wild pitch. Goes all the way back to the T-Mobile bricks. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Brown to Gino. But again, ABS is going to be great. And at some point when the technology is there and we have ABS for every pitch, then we can, at some point we may not even have to have an ump behind the plate. It could be like an automatic, computer screen as Gino ends up striking out 2 away and he strikes out looking. But again, where the T-Mobile bricks are, you could end up having, some kind of screen that shows the box of where the ball is going, strike and ball, and then there's no arguing, And again, you're still going to probably want umps at first base and third base, making sure you're monitoring things over there. But as far as behind the plate, at some point, we are going to get to a point where there probably won't be an ump back there, and it'll just be screens that'll be implemented in, hopefully not obscuring the view of the fans, but then you'll be able to see it on TV, and you'll be able to see it clearly at the game as well. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. But I imagine that the human umps will still be there, I would assume, for the next 5 years, unless they get a lot of pushback. But the technology, if it ends up, being available and they can have it access to all the ballparks, then at some point they'll be phasing out maybe that home ump. And that might be good for baseball, but it'll probably take a while before we get there. I mean, the way technology is moving forward, we'll see where it goes. 2-1 pitch, high and away. I mean, if the umps were good, then obviously you wouldn't have to have this type of technology possibly take his job. But, the umps have not been good, and it's been pretty poor for quite some time. 3-1 pitch. Pitch is high and away, outside of the zone, but gets a strike call there. Obviously, keeping the umps would keep the history of the game, and we don't want to make too many bad changes, like the NBA and their all-star format and whatnot. There's a lot of things that, certain organizations do to make the sport worse. We don't want that. Big swing and a miss by Canzone, and down he goes on strike 3. Oh, Jamie Moyer in the house. Nice. 1-0 Rockies here. Let's go to the top of the third inning, and we'll see who's up next here for Colorado. Next up for the Rockies in the 9-hole, second baseman Ryan Ritter. Batting second, 0-for-1, right fielder, former Angel, Mickey Moniak. And batting third, catcher, 0-for-1, Hunter Goodman. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes and then 200 likes. We're at 309 in the building. We're looking for 100 on the dono train. We're at 595 to go. And we've gained 2-3 subs already. We're trying to go for 5 to 15. Once we hit that, we'll go from 15 to 30. And right now we are sitting at, after just hitting 22,000 subs a couple days ago, we're at 22,107, and we gained a couple more. 93 to go to 22,200. Shout out to all the new subs and all the people watching all across the globe. Let them know. Let's get it, baby. Where are we sitting at the likes right now? Are we at 100 yet? I mean, with 284 to 300 in the room, we should be at 100 by now. I know it's still early in the second inning, but... Randy Arosarina with lazy defense in left field, making a guy get to second base where if he would have hustled and threw it into the infield with purpose, maybe that would have been only a single. And again, anytime a ball gets hit in Randy's area, singles turn into doubles, doubles turn into triples, triples end up scoring. And again, the only thing that will prevent that if it goes over his head for a home run, and hopefully we don't have too many balls hit to Randy as we play the Rockies and the Dodgers as well as the playoffs, because it feels like every time it does, especially when it ends up being a ground ball, it's a fucking disaster. 1-0 pitch to Ritter, low and away. With that sinker, 84 miles an hour. No, 94. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and in the zone. 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Ritter. Slow dribbler, throw to first, and that is 1 away. And again, playing with emotion against the Astros on the road was amazing. But again, we play down to the competition, and when you go home, no matter who you're playing, whether you're playing the Rockies or the Dodgers, a shitty team or a good team, there's always going to be an opportunity, even for the bad teams, to beat good teams. So we have to make sure that we, go through the motions, but also understand that we need to strike early and often, and we can't get too lazy and get too cocky, thinking that they're just the Rockies. Because if that happens, we're only going to win 2 out of 3. Popped up, and Victor Robles is there. And that is 1 away. And again, baseball is one of those things, you're not always going to get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs within the first couple innings, and again, we have played from behind a lot this year, so it's no surprise, but as long as it's close, as long as we're down by 5 runs or less, we're good. But once it goes above that, that's when we're fucked. So, as long as it's within a couple, we should be good. And, eventually we're going to get some RBIs, we're going to get some home runs, and, eventually we'll pull away and we'll wait for their meltdown to, occur, either through this particular pitcher or, a guy later in the matchup. First pitch to Goodman, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and away by Bryce Miller. 2 balls and no strikes from Miller to Goodman. And we're not going to have Woo pitch game 3 against the Rockies, so we'll see how the rotation looks against the Dodgers. So it's going to be a little bit harder winning games against the Rockies and the Dodgers if we're not going to have Woo at least once, in these 6 games. So especially if we have to see more Miller and Castillo, which isn't ideal since there are weak links compared to Gilbert and Kirby and Woo, but we will manage. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 2-1 pitch, fouled off. That goes behind the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Goodman. Yeah, we got the best record at home after the All-Star break out of any team, not just American League, National League, like 20-3. So again, we should sweep this team. We should be able to win 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. And if we win the first 2, talking sweep is legit, but we got to win this one first. And a nice base hit right up the middle there by Hunter Goodman, their best player. Way to bring a little bit of electricity there for the Rockies. Hunter Goodman. Next first baseman, Blaine Krim. Hopefully we can get a strikeout or a pop-up, ground out, or a force out at second, and hopefully we don't have any more balls hit into Randy's areas and we can capitalize, at this moment. But every single play is going to be magnified. And again, maybe Randy doesn't think, him not hustling is not a big deal. And, it's just a base hit. I'll just jog to the ball and I'll just throw it in lightly. But it's like every time he does that, the runner ends up getting an extra base every time. Singles turn into doubles, doubles turn into triples. And if you end up doing that, early and often, it's the first batter and there's no outs. That's like a freebie run that you're giving them for nothing because your lack of hustle. So it's really irritating. Hopefully that will change at some point, but I highly doubt it. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Miller to Krim. And Krim with a base knock. Julio is there. There we go, baby. No fly zone in the business, baby. Let's go. Nice job, Julio. And now we're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And again, you got to have patience. If you've watched this team, we go through peaks and valleys. It's not always going to be great. Sometimes we're going to have to rally, late in games where we have no business of doing that, And again, even if we end up winning this game at a very bare minimum 2-1, it wouldn't be ideal. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. And again, we're just going to have to try to do our best while Woo is getting healthy and hope that guys like Miller and Castillo can do their job. And then obviously Kirby and obviously Logan Gilbert have to do above and beyond in theirs. And then we're going to have to see what happens in game 3 if they end up moving up the rotation or if they end up, bringing up Logan Evans or, selecting Emerson Hancock to pitch a game. I don't know. I think we might be just being better off in a 4-man rotation rather than a 5. But again, it all depends on the health of the pitchers and how tired they are. They've definitely lost a lot of innings, in this 2025 season, but I guess we'll find out as we progress into this series. Let's see who's up next here in the bottom of the 3rd for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners in the 8-hole, right fielder Victor Robles. Batting second in the 9-hole, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And back at the top of the order, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Yeah, game is on Root Sports. First pitch right down the middle to Victor Robles. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Rockies, but nothing to worry about. Be patient. RELAX, we'll be fine. Eventually we'll end up getting that first home run and, first RBI. And once we get that, it'll be, easy going at that point moving forward. Just got to be able to get this nice rally going whenever it may be. 0-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 looking on Victor Robles. Dots him with the slider. Down goes Victor, 1 away. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And again, looking at a guy that has an 0-4 record and an ERA of 9.17, the Mariners have a great opportunity here to be able to capitalize. But sometimes, we let him pitch like he's a 4-0 pitcher with an ERA of 2.17. I don't know why that ends up happening. Like, we can end up playing Skeens, Scooball, Crochet, Hunter Brown, and kick their ass, and then we go against a guy like this and we can't even hit him. But I guess that's just baseball. You just never know, based on what that guy's stuff is going to be and also how patient the Mariner hitters are going to be that particular day. Baseball is hard. 0-1 pitch. High and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Brown on the mound, J.P. in the box. One pitch in there for a strike. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes JP. And 5 punch outs here for a guy that's got an ERA of 9.17 and 0-4 record. Come on, guys. Down goes JP Crawford. Next up, Randy Arozarena. And again, if it's going to be like this, the simple thing to help with this problem, bunt, small ball. You got to find a way to get guys on base. Obviously, he's not walking a lot of guys. He's not hitting a lot of guys. Our guys are kind of being patient in the box. But again, if we're going to be getting punched out looking and punched out based off swinging wildly, maybe try to get some bunts down. Big swing and a miss by Randy. 1 ball and 1 strike from Brown to Arozarena. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch. Randy pops it up. Should be a routine play in center field. And it is. 3 up and 3 down. And again, hopefully Cal, Julio, and Naylor, that'll be the guys that'll get us going in the 4th inning. End of the 3rd, 1-0 Rockies. Gained a couple more subs. 92 to go to get to 22,200. Shout out to all the new subs and all the people watching from all over the globe. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes, and then 200 likes, 100 on the dono train. And we're looking for another 10 to 15 subs. Let's get it. Where are we sitting off the likes with 338 in the room? We should be at over 100 by now. Where are we at? And you can definitely tell, the fans that have been watching for, 5 years or less, and the fans that have been watching for 20, 30, 40 years, there's a difference. Or if you're just betting on the games or not, again, it's not like just because the Rockies are 43 and 113, we're going to score 10 runs every game. We are at home. We are a very good team. We played a very emotional series against the Astros. But what do? We play up to the competition and we play down to the competition. And luckily, when we go to the playoffs, everyone's good. So we won't have to worry about playing down, And again, this will be the last series that we potentially could play down. But eventually, when we play the Dodgers, everything will be up from there. We'll be good, man. We're going to end up going 5-1 or 6-0 more than likely in these last 6 games. Worst case scenario, we go 4-2 and win 1 game against the Dodgers out of 3. But we could definitely sweep this team, and we should. Jordan Beck in the box. And Bryce Miller on the mound. Let's go, Bryce. Oh, 1 pitch. Crushes it towards third base, foul. No balls and 2 strikes from Bryce Miller to Jordan Beck. Come on, Bryce. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss and a punch out by Miller. There we go. Nice job by Bryce Miller, bringing that electricity, baby. We love that. And that is 1 away. Next up is shortstop Ezekiel Tovar. All right, John says we're at 127. Let's get to 200. We can do it. We got 331 in the room. Should definitely be possible to get to 200 to 250 before the game's over. Ezekiel Tovar takes a strike there. Look, an 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch popped up, fading into foul territory by Victor Robles. Goes into the 12th row and ricochets back to the 20th row. No balls and 2 strikes to Ezekiel Tovar. Come on, Ems. I mean, we're either going to do, either a 4-man rotation, or they're going to call up Logan Evans, or maybe have Emerson Hancock pitch a game. I mean, those are really our only options at this point. And again, Logan Evans is great at home. We know he can't win on the road, but he's great at home, and I would rather have Logan Evans get called up. If that means that Cole Young would have to go down for a game, if he's not playing anyways, who cares? Or like a Leo Ribas. Big swing and a miss, got him. But I don't really trust Emerson Hancock on the mound or in the pen. But I think Logan Evans could step in from AAA and get us a win in game number 3 against the Rockies if we had to go that route. That would be my choice. I mean, Evans is great at home, but again, on the road, he just couldn't figure it out. And he wasn't really getting any run support either. But at home, he's a different type of guy. Next up is Brenton Doyle with 2 outs. First pitch. Crushes it into right field, foul, 0-1 count. Brenton Doyle in the box. Bryce Miller on the mound. Let's go, Bryce. It's Miller time, baby. Keep it clean, and hopefully Miller only gives up 1 or 2 runs total, preferably just this 1 that he gave up, and no home runs, and then we're able to, kind of get going here at some point or another, which is a little wild that we haven't scored yet, but just because a guy's 0-4 with an ERA of 9 or 10 doesn't guarantee that we're going to score 5 to 10 runs immediately. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Miller to Doyle. Logan Evans is nice. I mean, obviously he's not good enough to be a starter, at this point. And Kate Anderson and Durangelo will probably be better. And a nice throw to first. Got him. Nice job by JP to Naylor, and that is out number 3. But I mean, if we're just talking about emergency pitcher to fill in for Wu for 1 game, Logan would be the guy. Now, if we were on the road, then I would say no Logan. But if we're at home, he can get it done. And I assume that they'll send down like Leo Rivas or Cole Young for like a game, bring up Logan Evans, and then once that pitcher is done, then make the swap back. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth, and this will be the inning where we get on the board. Leading off for the Mariners with 58 home runs, it's the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second, center fielder, no fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, first baseman, the big grumper, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. We should be able to get something cooking here. Let's go, baby. We've gone way too long with no hits yet. And again, it's sports. You're going to have all your emotions in that Astros series, and then you have to find like an internal, motivation when you go against a team like this. Just automatically thinking, oh, it's going to be easy. We don't even have to play hard, and we're going to sweep them. The Rockies are going to give us everything that they got to play spoiler. And again, we have to make sure that we have the right guys out there and the right focus. And it would be nice to see us play some small ball and bunt, especially with struggles in the box early on here. First pitch to Cal, high and away, 1-0 count. But obviously a home run by Cal, Julio, or Naylor would get us on the right path. We just need that first guy to make that first big play. 1-0 pitch. Cal crushes it, but pops it up in play. Two defenders converging and caught, and that is one away. Down goes Cal, and we'll have possibly 2 or 3 more at-bats. Hopefully he'll homer tonight. Batting second, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go, Julio. Big swing and a miss by Julio. Off balance swing like he did in the first half of the season. Don't go back to those negative techniques, Julio. 0-1 count. Durangelo is still in the farm system, so he's not ready yet, just like Cade Anderson isn't ready yet, who won a natty, the lefty from LSU. And Cade will end up taking Castillo's spot. He's no longer on the team probably next year. Castillo, Gino, Garver will probably be gone, maybe a few others, and there'll be some guys from the farm that move up. And it'll be exciting to be able to see what we got cooking, obviously next year, but we're trying to make a deep run this year. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Julio, don't be so wild. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. Slider missing by inches. 87 miles an hour by Brown. Remember, this guy's 0-4 with an ERA of 9.17. Doesn't look like it today. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Julio Rodriguez, and that is 2 away. I don't know if I've ever seen a pitcher with numbers like this pitching this well. 0-4, 9.17 ERA, almost 10 earned runs a game, and he's looking like a Cy Young candidate today. Naylor's up right now. But again, we have tendencies to do that. We can destroy Skubal, Skeens, Crochet, Hunter Brown, and the top guys, and then all of a sudden we play like guys that are terrible, at least against other teams. And then when we play them, we make those guys kind of look good. It's weird. It's like you would think that we would struggle against Skubal and Skeens and we would tear up these shitty pitchers, but it's almost like the opposite sometimes for us. But I still think we're going to win this game. And again, even if it ends up being a 2-1 win and emotional, a win is a win. Naylor crushes it towards first base, foul. but we just need to find guys to go back to back to back so we can get, an RBI situation, or someone gets one on the sweet spot, homers, and then we go from there. But obviously it's been slim pickings here early on. Brown has pitched a gem. He hasn't really walked a whole lot of guys. He hasn't hit anybody. We haven't been able to bunt or steal bags. So there really hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity early on here against Colorado. Finish the job. 3-1 pitch. Naylor crushes it into right field. There we go. First hit of the game, baby. Let's go. Nice job, Josh. And we're very good with 2 outs. And let's see if we can get the magic that we want by Jorge Polanco. He had 7 straight games with a double, had a couple singles, then got the double streak going again. And again, if there's a guy that's due for a home run, it's this guy right now. How about you hit a homer right here and we go up 2-1? What do you say, Jorge Polanco? Make it happen, baby. You hear me, sports gods? Let's go. Enough is enough. Let's get on the board. We're great in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. We're great with 2 outs. And again, not ideal, not the start that we wanted. Of course, it would have been amazing to throw up like 7 runs like we did against the Astros in the first 2 innings. But, every game is going to be a different challenge. First pitch inside, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Come on, Polo. Oh, 1 pitch from Brown to Polo, incoming, throw to first, and Naylor back at first base as the crowd boos, trying to keep that runner in check. Trident's up, let's go M's. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo, I know you can do it. Find a way. Single, double, triple, home run. You got this. Let's go. Somebody needs to step up. Naylor did his job. Let's see if you can get a hit and keep it moving. Come on, Polo. Brown on the mound. Polo in the box. 0-2 pitch. Polo pops it up. And that should be a routine play here at second base. And that is out number 3. Polo can't get Naylor to be moved over, unfortunately. And we're still stranded and stuck at 0. And again, we might just have to wait for the pitcher to go out and then hopefully have a meltdown by one of their guys in the pen. I don't know if anyone anticipated that. I sure as hell didn't. When a guy was 0-4 with an ERA of almost 10, but I guess that's the life that we live in here in 2025. All right, let's go to the top of the 5th inning and see who's up next for the Rockies. Next up for the Rockies, 1-for-1 with an RBI, third baseman Kyle Karros. Batting second, 0-for-1 with a K, DHing Kyle Farmer. And batting third, 0-for-1, second baseman in the 9-hole, Ryan Ritter. Let's take a look at these stats for the pitcher. Bryce Miller, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 4 Ks, 60 pitches, 42 strikes, 5.42 ERA. And let's take a look at McCade Brown. So going into the game, 0-4, 9.17 ERA. Now, 4 innings pitched. He's got a 1-hitter, no earned runs, only 1 walk, 7 Ks. Jesus Christ. 60 pitches, 39 strikes, and his ERA now is down to 7.48. Come on, Seattle. They only have 3 hits, and they got their run because Randy's lazy in left field. Karros reached on an infield single to second, and then Beck scored. But again, if that particular play to Randy was defended properly, instead of getting a double, it would have been a single. And instead of being at third coming home, he would have been going from second to third. And it's probably 0-0 right now. But again, we'll be able to make up for it. We got our first hit by Naylor, and now we just have to continue to push forward, wait for the bullpen to have a meltdown, and then eventually we'll get this dub. Just got to be patient. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Colorado. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes if we're not already there. I think we're going to 200 now. We're trying to get to 200 likes. 100 on the dono train. We're at 595 to go. And 5 to 15 subs. And a slow dribbler off Miller. Throw to first. and safe. And hopefully Bryce is okay. The last thing that we need is Bryce Miller to get hurt off a ball getting deflected off his body, and which is something that's been pretty common with Mariner players lately, either fouling it off himself, in the box, or someone having a ball coming scorched right back at him. And there was nothing there that Bryce could do after the follow through. Tried to get out of the way, but it's tagged in the kind of thigh area, butt area. Exit velo on a lot of those are going to be 100 to 110, so. I figured it was. That's when you know you're getting old. If you're 40 and up, a lot of these guys that you're seeing in MLB are the sons of the guys that we watched when we were kids, in the 80s and 90s. And now they're having the trainers here with Bryce. He's probably got a big strawberry bruise already, there on his thigh area. And hopefully Bryce is okay. We can't really afford for him to go out. I mean, it is the 5th inning, luckily, not like the 3rd, but Bryce is tough. We already have Wu out, with the pec that's just a little sore, so he won't pitch more than likely the rest of the regular season. He'll miss one start, which would be on Thursday in Game 3. He was slated. It's going to go Miller today, Castillo tomorrow, and then I would assume Logan Evans, and hopefully that'll work. And then we'll get into Kirby, Gilbert, and then Miller, obviously, for the Dodgers. All right, Miller stays out there. He's good. He's tough. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Rockies. Miller on the mound, Farmer in the box. And steps off the mound. First pitch right down the middle by Bryce Miller, bringing that heat. Nice strike looking, 0-1 count. Miller on the mound, and Kyle Farmer in the box. 229 average, 8 homers, and 31 ribbies in 2025. 0-1 pitch, low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyle Farmer. And like I said, when I was doing the lineups and making the thumbnails, I couldn't use any of the previous players because they're not on the team anymore. And the team's roster from this year compared to last is completely different, besides maybe 1 player, maybe 2. So definitely took a little bit more work to find, kind of cool looking photos for the opposing team. I don't want to have just garbage photos for the opposing team. We try to find the best HD 4K that we can find. But obviously with the Rockies being 43 and 113, not a lot of good action shots. It's been a rough year for them. 1-2 pitch, slow dribbler, double play, throw to first, and wild throw to first. What was that? And runner is safe. Come on, Polo. Jesus Christ, what was that? If we're going to have wild throws like that, maybe we should have Leo Rivas play second base and Polo DH. Christ, Polo. I mean, like I said, we already have Randy as a liability, right? We have Polo as a liability, and we have Gino as a liability defensively. We need to make sure we have the best players playing. Leo Rivas should be playing second base every day, and then Polo should be the DH. Ay. And slow dribbler here, and double play again. And there we go. Polo finally makes up 1 double play where he fucks up, and we get the double play on the next pitch and get the out. And luckily that happens because that's very rare. To have 1 double play get missed and you get the force out at second, wild throw at first, and then the next pitch, you get a slow dribbler to JP again. Thank you very much. Flip to Polo, and then Polo takes his time, finds the rhythm, gets it to Naylor, and then we get out of the inning. 1-0 Rockies. All right, Flying Monk says we're at 149. We got 407 in the room. We should be at 200 by now. And so for all day and the rest of the regulars, you know what to do. Obviously it has to be a team effort here to get some of the other people that are watching to do the basic. Just hit that like button so we can hit the algorithm, and that'll hit us with YouTube. And obviously anybody looking for Rockies, Mariners, or MLB, and that potentially will lead to more subs, more views, more donos, more shares, and more cool people that we can add to the channel, because there are going to be people looking for this game. So for all the regulars in the room, if you can work together and obviously help us out in the chat, that'll help us get to 200. See who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K. Third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Good vibes only. Let's go, Gino. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K. DHing Dominic Canzone. And batting third, right fielder, 0 for 1 with a K. Victor Robles. Let's go, baby. All right, All Day says we're at 150. 50 to go with 406 in the room. Just takes 1 second to hit that like button, and we can get there. It's good for the metrics, and it's good for the algorithm. Bottom of the fifth inning. 1-0 Rockies. First pitch to Gino. Takes a strike looking. 0-1 count. Come on, Gino. Oh, 1 pitch. Little slow dribbler towards third base. Foul. 230 average, 47 home runs, and 113 ribbies. But as we know, Gino's one of those guys that can go 4 for 4 and then go 0 for 32, and not get anything in 8 games straight. There's not really a whole lot in between. 0-2 pitch, and down he goes on strikes, and that is 1 away. And again, we just have to hope that Gino can get to a point where we get the good Gino that's hot, and not the Gino that ends up striking out, looking, and swinging over and over and over again. 1 away. Next up, DHing Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. First pitch to Dom, high and away, 1-0 count. But also, you have to give credit where credit is due. McCade Brown, 0-4 with an ERA of 9.17, is pitching the game of his life. And again, it might be his best start of the year. And it's just kind of unfortunate that he had to wait to do this against us when we're trying to gain playoff, position, here late with 3 games against the Rockies and 3 against the Dodgers. But again, it's never going to be easy for us. We're going to have to earn it every single game. Nothing is going to be given to us. We have to take it. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss by Dom. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. We got this, baby. Two-one pitch. Dom crushes it into left field, fading foul. Still got plenty of time. It's only halfway through the game. Once the starting pitcher goes out, all it takes is one bad pitcher, and all of a sudden you can score 1 to 4 runs in a matter of 5 minutes. So I know it's not ideal. It would have been amazing to have a start like we did with JP, and Cal when we scored 7 runs in the first 2 innings, going deep and gone. Dominic Canzone, get this on the board. Let's go. Let's go, baby. There it is. And you knew someone was going to make it happen. You have to be patient. And there you go. Dominic Canzone is the guy that says enough is enough. We're going to win this, and this is how we do it. I'm going to get a solo dinger right here, 383 feet to right field, 1-1. We're tied up, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. And now we can relax. See? Now we feel good, right? And then once we get 1 run, typically it'll, turn into another and another. So again, and a lot of times pitchers are going to have meltdowns an inning before they typically, get exited. Usually pitchers are going for 6-7 innings, but if they give up, some big stuff in the 5th, we'll see if they decide to pull them a little early. Next up is Victor Robles. Fouls the first pitch off. Second pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. They got Jaden Hill already warming up there in the pen as I spoke on that. No balls and 2 strikes to Victor Robles. High and away by Brown. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Victor Robles. Yeah, and again, Dominic Canzone, he's had his ups and downs and some injuries and had to fight through AAA in the Tacoma Rainiers, but him being a DH has worked out pretty well for us as of late. And down goes Victor, taking strike 3 looking, which is a common theme today against Brown. And that is 2 away. It's okay, Victor, I still love you. Next up is shortstop J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. And we had JP hit a grand salami, so we know that JP has been getting locked in within the last 2 weeks. Let's see if we can keep this Raleigh going with 2 outs. If not, we've tied the game up, so we feel good. And again, took a lot longer than we wanted, but again, eventually, good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees, 2 balls and no strikes from Brown to Crawford. But you got to give Brown a hell of a lot of credit. He's pitched a great game. He hasn't hit anybody. He hasn't walked anybody. He's been locked in. He's gotten a lot of guys, striking out, looking and swinging. And again, pretty rare for a guy that's 0-4 with an ERA of almost 10 to do that late in the year. But, got to give credit where credit is due. He's doing well. And that's why the game is only 1-1 right now. 2-0 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. 3-0 pitch, and that is a high and away, and that's a walk. Here we go. Good job by J.P. Crawford. There we go, baby. And now you're starting to see a little bit of a meltdown from Brown after giving up the home run, and now J.P. getting on, and now they're going to make the pitching change. Or are they just going to have a mound visit? I mean, it's Randy in the box. So I don't know if they really feel that this is a guy that they're scared of. I mean, obviously we know that he's got the ability to do some damage in the box. Obviously much better than his defense out there in left field. But come on, Randy. I mean, again, if you're going to be a liability in left field, at least get us singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. We got this. You got to have the patience. Let's go, Randy. First pitch to Randy Arosarena. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 5th, 1-1 Rockies and Mariners, where we were sitting at a goose egg, at a donut for many, many innings, but luckily Dominic Canzone has stepped up for us with a solo dinger to right, and he ties the game up, and we're feeling pretty good now. 0-1 pitch, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arosarena. And Brown's location today has been immaculate. Like, I don't know if I've seen a guy that has such a shitty record and a shitty ERA hit his spots as cleanly as Brown has today. I mean, he's pitching like he's Skeens or something out there. Like, his location is wild. Like, even the balls that are missing the strike zone are missing by inches. They're not like 5 feet off the plate. He has been very good today. 1-2 pitch. Nope. Throw to first to keep JP honest. Crowd boos in displeasure. Bottom of the 5th, 1-1 Rockies and Mariners. One-two pitch. And that should be strike 3 looking. What a pitch inside. And like I said, location, location, location. It's almost like I'm watching like a Skeens or, obviously Greg Maddux was the master of location. He didn't have to pitch, 95 to 100 to get you out. He found ways to be able to, work the corners and find ways to be able to, get you in your weak points. And, man, Brown has been money today. Paisley is behind me here. I think she wants out. I'm going to go get her a snack. So I'll be right back. End of the 5th inning, 1-1 Rockies and Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do help us get to 200 likes, 100 on the dono train. And we're we're looking to gain 5 to 15 subs. Let's go. All right, got my pup some food and some water. She's good to go. We tied the game up. Dominant Canzone doing dominant Canzone thing. Thank God that we have somebody that we can rely on. In the top of the 6th, leading off for the Rockies, 0 for 2, former Angel right fielder Mickey Moniak. Batting second, catcher, 1 for 2, Hunter Goodman. And batting third, 0 for 2, first baseman Blaine Krim. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Yeah, I mean, we got the best home record in baseball since the All-Star break, like 20-3. So again, even when games are like this, you have to just be patient and know that in any given moment, we can homer or get a big play. So we obviously know that we're much better than this Colorado team, but again, we do have a tendency of playing down to the competition, regardless if it's at home or on the road. And we can't be looking ahead to the Dodger series or the playoffs. We have to take every game, what's in front of us. And if we don't, then we're only going to end up winning 2 out of 3 against the Rockies and maybe 1 out of 3 against the Dodgers. And I know you guys don't want to go 3-3 the rest of the way. We want to go 5-1 or 6-0. So we just got to lock in. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And especially we're not going to have our best pitchers in the Rocky series. We're not going to have Wu. We're not going to have Kirby. We're not going to have Gilbert. So it's going to be Castillo and then maybe Logan Evans if they call him up. So the bats need to come alive. Otherwise, we are not going to sweep this team. And, we want to be able to try to win as many as possible. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Moniak. Two pitch, crushes it into right field, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Miller to Moniak. Come on, Bryce, keep wheeling and dealing. Miller on the mound, Mickey Moniak in the box. 2-2 pitch, slow dribbler behind the plate and foul. Back to the Fred Meyer sign in the T-Mobile bricks. Top of the 6th inning, pitchers duel. No one expected that. 1-1 tie. Nobody on with no outs. We're in the top of the 6th, and so far the MVP for the Mariners will be Bryce Miller and obviously Dominic Canzone. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mickey Moniak. Come on, Mariners. Come on, Bryce. Finish strong. Yeah, and honestly, if you've been watching this Mariner team, this year or for many, many years, like we've had a lot of games like this as this big hit in the right field. Victor, get it in. And safe at second. And a little bit more effort there out of Victor Robles, hustling to the baseball as well, throwing it in to J.P. Crawford. Nice double there for Mickey Moniak. Next up is catcher Hunter Goodman, their arguably best player. So we have to be very careful here. And hopefully we can end up, getting a double play or a strikeout and a double play. But Goodman, 280 average, 30 homers, right? And that's kind of crazy for a team that's only got 43 wins, but he is by far their best player. First pitch to Goodman, fouls it off towards first base, 0-1 count. Top of the 6th inning, 1-1, Rockies and Mariners. 0-1 pitch, high and away to Hunter Goodman. 1 ball, 1 strike from Miller to Goodman. One pitch, slow dribbler, throw to first, and Gino to Naylor, 1 away. Keeping that runner stranded there at second base. Nice job by Gino. Good defense, Eugenio. Next up, first baseman Blaine Krim. First pitch from Miller to Krim, low and away, 1-0 count. Pitch, low and away. Back-to-back knuckle curves by Bryce Miller, off speed, 84 miles an hour for both. Second one missed the strike zone by a few inches. First one was by quite a bit. And let's see if we can get back into the mix as we have Bizzardo warming up in the pen. And Bizzardo is our most reliable guy in the pen besides Andres Munoz. Low and away, going high and away on that third pitch with the sinker. 3-0 count with a runner at second with 1 out. Come on, Bryce. Finish strong. Pitch. Should have been ball 4 if we're really being honest, but the ump gives him the call outside of the zone. Kind of on the line, I guess, so to speak. 3 balls and 1 strike from Miller to Krim. And let's see if we can get Krim to bite on a garbage pitch here, and he can pop it up or ground out here. 3-1 pitch, and he doesn't take the bite, and that is a walk. Now we got runners at first and second with 1 out, and this is decision time. Do we pull Bryce now with runners at first and second with 1 out? And I think we do. He's at 82 pitches, and obviously we know he can go into the 90 range. But again, only 4 Ks, and we're tied at 1. They have 5 hits. We only have 2. No errors yet. And again, this is going to be, you better get the pitch sequence right here with Cal Raleigh if you're going to keep him in, because we don't want to be down 2-1, 3-1 after this inning. Looks like they're going to keep Bryce out there. All right, Bryce, finish strong, especially if you're not going to bring in Bizzardo. You know Bizzardo can get the job done. And hopefully we can get a double play here. Slow dribbler right up the middle to J.P. Crawford. A throw to Naylor. Bang, bang. We get out of the inning. First pitch low and away to Beck. 1-0 count. Come on, Bryce. Top of the 6th, 1-1 tie with runners at first and second and 1 out. 1-0 pitch. Hit into center field. Julio is there. Back to the dirt and caught. Throw it in, Julio. And a good strong throw there, but no throw to Polo. And now runners advance to second and third with 2 outs. All right, let's keep them stranded. Nice job by Jordan Beck getting that ball deep enough to be able to move the runners over. Next up is shortstop Ezekiel Tovar. And hopefully we'll be able to get an easy out here and keep the game tied up at 1-1. I disagree. Watery events. I mean, if you haven't been paying attention, the Washington Huskies are playing some really good college football right now as well. So you got the Seattle Sounders, you got the Mariners, you got the Seahawks, you got the Huskies. Cougars aren't as good as the Huskies, but it's better than the Beavers in Oregon. There's quite a few things. Sonics are coming back, to the Seattle area sooner than later. So I disagree. I think that there's a lot going on in Oregon and Washington right now. And again, it's not like every single team is going to be great. Maybe the biggest question mark in Seattle will be the Kraken. We don't really know if they're going to be going to the playoffs anytime in the near future, but they've been building, hopefully in the right way, even though they end up firing their coach, it seems like every couple of years. But, other than that, everything else is looking like on the up and up in Seattle. But that's only if you watch sports or not. There's a lot of people that would love to live in Oregon and Washington, especially people that live in the Midwest or the East Coast or the South. If you get any of those friends that visit, most of those people, once they visit Oregon or Washington once, they usually will want to come back. And I've actually had quite a few people that, have visited and they live here now. Again, if you love the outdoors, you love wineries, breweries, dispensaries. You love to be able to ski or snowboard or camp or walk or spend time outside with your pup. Like, there's a lot to see and do in Oregon and Washington. Big facts. It'd be much better to live in Oregon and Washington than California. Obviously, with the crime rate very high there and things a lot more expensive in California than it is in Oregon and Washington. It's still expensive, up in the Pacific Northwest, but not as bad as California. And less traffic. So if you hate traffic, obviously California might not be for you. And we get traffic a little bit in Oregon and Washington, but not like California. All right, Bryce is done. Edward Bizzardo is in. And again, Bryce did a good job. He only gave up a run. We were hoping that he would give up 1 or 2, maximum of 3. And so, again, he did a good job. Hopefully, Luis Castillo is taking notes, and he'll do a good job as well. And now we bring in our most reliable asset in the pen, most improved player from last year to this year, Edward Bizzardo. He has been absolutely magnificent in 2025. Come on, Bizzardo. First pitch misses high, 1-0 count. Edward Bizzardo on the mound. Ezekiel Tovar, shortstop in the 5-hole in the box. 0 for 1 with a K for Tovar. 1-0 pitch, popped up, and that goes foul. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Tovar. Top of the 6th with runners at second and third. The first time the Rockies have been threatening since early in the game when a ball was hit to Randy's area. And we obviously know what happened after that. 1-1 pitch. And a hit. And that's going to be an RBI. That goes right in front of Victor Robles, trying to go for 2. And safe at home. Brutal. And that brings in a 2-run RBI single. And that throw by Robles was on money. But again, we'll see a replay here if they're going to challenge. But at the moment, it's 3-1 Rockies. Same thing could have happened against, obviously, Bryce Miller. And Edward Bizzardo is not known for giving up a lot of RBIs and home runs, so that is very unfortunate. And a big hit by Tovar to give them the 3-1 lead. Again, it's not going to be easy. Again, we have to earn this. And again, good throw there, but apparently no challenge from the Mariners. And now we have to really put it into full high gear in these last 4 innings. First pitch from Bizzardo to Doyle. 0-1 count. Yeah, we're still good. It's not like, once we get down by 5 runs or more, and obviously we still have to wait for, them to go to their pen. And then once they go to their pen, they can have a meltdown, so plenty of time. We already have 1 home run with Dominic Canzone. We didn't get anything for the first 5 innings. We're very good with 2 outs. We're very good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So, again, it's not over. We still got time to be able to tie it up and force extra innings or possibly take the lead in regulation. All it takes is 1 bad pitcher to have a meltdown, and you can score 1 to 5 runs. So it's never over. Especially if you've watched the Mariners this year. We've come back from, 1 to 5 runs many, many times this year. 0-1 pitch in the zone. No balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Doyle. Pitch is low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with that sinker missing by a few inches by Bizzardo. Top of the 6th, 3-1 Rockies. Runner at second with 2 outs. Bizzardo on the mound, Doyle in the box. Come on, Bizzardo. 1-2 pitch, slow dribbler towards third. Gino is there, throw to Naylor. Got him. All right, they scored 2. And again, we're going to need our offense to start opening up. And again, we're going to need some home runs. And again, you know, the Mariners are one of those teams where 50 to 52% of our total runs come from home runs. So when we homer, we win. When we don't homer, we lose. And again, we're not one of those teams that typically can score, you know, off 10 hits and multiple RBIs with no home runs. So again, not the most ideal situation, but again, you know, this is something that has to be expected. Just because they have a bad record, we play down to the competition. That's something that we've always known. And again, we already had a lot of emotion that was let out in that Astros series. So to have a little bit of a letdown at home, you know, maybe being a little too cocky, a little bit too overconfident, not giving this team any credit, the Rockies. And now they're showing that, hey, you know, we're a bad team, but you're going to have to earn these wins. We're not going to just give them to you. And again, 1 run and 2 hits within the first 6 innings, that ain't going to get a fucking dub. So again, we have 4 innings to go to be able to try to tie it up and go to extras or to win in regulation. And again, once we get their starter out, we'll be good to go. And he's out now. And he had 10 Ks on us, right? 0-4, ERA of almost 10, and he had 10 Ks. So we don't got to worry about him anymore. Hill is coming in, and hopefully Hill will have a meltdown, and that's when we get back into the game. All right, Jaden Hill now coming into the game, and hopefully we get a meltdown now to take advantage. Next up is Big Dumper at Cal Raleigh. Jaden Hill on the mound. Big Dumper in the box. Let's go, Cal. He's at 58 home runs, and if there was ever a time that we needed Cal and Julio and Naylor to get going, it's fucking now. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike swinging right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Big Dumper at Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Trident's up. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch. And Cal gets a line drive, but caught. Great defense there. 1 away. Right place and right time there for the defense. Ezekiel Tovar, I see you. Next up, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go, Julio. This would be a great time for you to go yard to cut this lead to 3-1 to 3-2. Come on, J-Rod. First pitch, high and away, 1-0 count. 0 for 1 with a walk and a K for Julio Rodriguez. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Rockies. 1 out, nobody on. Plenty of time to be able to come back, win the game in regulation, or to take it into extras. Just got to be patient. Wait for that perfect pitch, and hopefully we get a situation where we get back-to-back hits, and if we're not able to piece together 3 hits in a row, then we're going to have to hit a couple home runs. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. One-two pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes after that 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, misses by Hill. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Rockies with nobody on and 1 out. Hill on the mound, Rodriguez in the box, and luckily we don't have to worry about seeing McCade Brown anymore with his 10 Ks. He definitely was a Mariner killer in that, first 6 innings here today. Might be the best performance for a guy that's 0-4 with an ERA of 9 to be able to get 10 Ks after we just swept the Astros. Unbelievable, but also believable. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And Hill says, see you later, Julio. And that is 2 away. Nice job there by Jaden Hill, bringing the electricity for the Rocky fan base there. 2 away. And the guy that got the party started with our first hit, first baseman Josh Naylor. And hopefully Josh can get on board so Polo and Gino can do some magic. Let's go. First pitch, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And it would be nice if we could actually get a couple guys plunked if they didn't get hurt, or if we got a couple guys walked, so that way we can move some guys over and steal some bags. We haven't really had the opportunity to move guys over. It's either you're getting a hit or you're not, and you're getting a home run like Dom did or you're not. Popped up by Naylor as Hill jams him, and this should be out number 3, and it is. 3 up and 3 down for the Rockies, and we're going to have 3 innings to be able to get 2 runs. Pressure is on. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Rockies. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Mariners. Not exactly what we were anticipating here with the excitement going into the playoffs in these last 6 games. But again, no one is going to give it to us. They are going to have to earn it every single game. I mean, if not, we're going to go 2-4 in these last 6 games, and we definitely don't want that. We want to go 5-1 or 6-0, but again, we got to be able to get this first game to get us some momentum. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 200 likes, 100 on the dono train. We're only at 5. Maybe that's the problem. And we're looking for 5 to 15 subs. Let's see where we're at here, how many subs that we've gained since we last checked. Looks like we've gained another 7 or 8. And now we only have 85 to go to 22,200. But maybe that's the problem, only being at 5 on the dono train. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Rockies. Got almost 500 people in the room. Where are we at on the likes? Have we hit 200 yet? Yeah, so if the Yankees won, we needed to win. And then obviously we would end up clinching. But we're going to have to earn it here with some heroics late. And again, it doesn't have to be just all day in the building for all the regulars in the room. Let the other individuals know that are just watching. If you're enjoying the broadcast, you don't have to chat. If you feel like you can't, donate, that's fine. We'll have people that will and have it in the budget to do so. But again, subbing to the channel is fantastic, but hitting that like button, and help us hitting the metrics and the algorithm doesn't cost anything. It takes 1 second to hit the like button, and that'll help us with the metrics and the algorithm. Next up in the 7-hole, third baseman Kyle Karros, 2 for 2 with an RBI. Batting second, DHing Kyle Farmer, and batting third, second baseman Ryan Ritter. Carlos Vargas entering the game. Hold your breath. Let's hope that this is the good Carlos, not the bad. And again, we're going to have Luis Castillo, and then who knows in game number 3. I mean, the last thing that we want is to get fucking swept by the Rockies after sweeping the Astros in Houston. But again, the pitching, as far as the starters, is not going to be the greatest, in this Rocky series. No Wu, no Gilbert, no Kirby, and hopefully the bullpen will be able to, play well. But again, the bats need to come alive. Two-0 pitch, takes a strike right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike from Vargas to Karros. 2-1 pitch, fouled off behind the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Karros. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Rocky lead. I think we won't go 0-6. we're definitely going to, I think the worst case scenario is if we play kind of like this, against the Rockies and Dodgers. I think 2-4 is the worst case scenario, and then obviously maybe most likely scenario if we drop this game will be 4-2, but I'm still going to be shooting for 5-1 or 6-0. But obviously, we have a few innings left here to get the job done, and hopefully the bats will come alive. I mean, we're making the playoffs. Now it's really just about seeding. Where are we going to seed? Are we going to get a wild card? Are we going to, go on a slide, and let the Astros kind of get back into it, or are we going to end up getting a bye with the Blue Jays? And that's what we want. We want to be like the 2 seed. Obviously, 1 seed would be great, but, based on where we're at, being a 2 seed and having the bye with Toronto seems the most logical. Pitch fouled off, 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled off into right field towards first base. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Karros. Let him know, cool kid. Where are we at on the likes? What number are we at? Have we hit 200 yet? We got 454 in the room. Someone give us an update in the chat on where we're at there. Slow dribbler towards third base, foul. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Karros. Two pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Vargas to Karros. .243. All right, let's see if we can get to 300 before the stream ends. 57 to go. 3-2 pitch, and that's strike 3. There we go, baby. That's the good Vargas. After giving up a grand salami and looking like shit like Brash, way to be. There we go, 1 away. Nice job, Vargas. Next up, in the 8-hole, DHing Kyle Farmer. There we go. Chief getting the party started. Appreciate you and Sarah. See if we can get a couple other people to follow. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you, Chief with a $5. Now we're at 10, 90 to go. Every dollar counts. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes from Vargas to Farmer. Top of the 7th inning, 3-1 Colorado. 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Farmer. 2 balls and 1 strike here in the top of the 7th with nobody on and 1 out. And we can't let the Rockies go up by any more than this. This is kind of like probably the maximum amount of runs we can be down by, where we feel that we might be able to actually catch up and force extra innings or possibly score 3 and win 4-3. But again, if it ends up exploding to 4 or 5 for the Rockies, we're going to take the L unless a miracle happens, or a meltdown or both. And Gino, what happened? And again, we have liabilities with Polo, Gino, and Randy at defense. And again, Gino's numbers have been going down pretty steadily based off the metrics and the analytics at third. That should have been a routine play. He loses focus. And just like that, a play that should have easily been an out turns into an error. Come on, Gino. Do we want to fucking win this or not? We got to finish strong. We want to have that momentum going into the playoffs. We don't want to go in there with our tail between our legs and just barely getting in. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. Ritter in the box. Vargas on the mound. We need a double play now. Slow dribbler right up the middle. To JP, throw to Naylor. We get out of this inning. And then you got Cal Raleigh with a mound visit here with Carlos Vargas trying to settle him down. But it shows you like the playing down to the competition that we talk about on the channel. It's not like something we make up. It happens. It's like we play better against good teams. When we play against bad teams and, mid teams, we don't bring our best effort. It's like we struggle. It's like, and I don't know if it's just like not being being overconfident or just thinking it's going to be easy, and not putting out the full effort offensively and defensively. But it definitely feels like the focus, isn't there. And it's like, if you think you're just going to coast to a win because they only have 43 wins and 113 losses, newsflash, they're not going to give it to us. And again, if we play like this, we're going to get fucking swept by the Rockies, and I don't want that. Slow dribbler, double play, throw to first, and there you go. You ask for the double play, you get the double play. Bang! There we go. My ESP is on point. I told you you're going to get that double play to JP, and 5 seconds later, you get the double play to JP, throw to Naylor, and we get out. There we go. All right, now we have to try to be able to cut into this lead and try to get at least a run and get it to 3-2, and then hopefully 3-3 by the 8th, and then an opportunity to win it in the 9th. Hopefully that'll be the case. Unless we're able to have a blessed, 7th inning or 8th inning where we score 2. Let's see who's up next. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with the K, second baseman Jorge Polanco. You're overdue for a home run. This would be a great time to showcase your talent. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. You fucked up on that last play with the error. You got to make up for it. Third baseman Eugenio Suarez, and I don't even need a home run from you. Let's get on base with a single or double. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI and a K. A solo dinger to get us on the board when it was 1-0, and then it made it 1-1. Dominic Canzone. Hell, we might need Dom to hit another home run to get back in this. So, I mean, if Polo can get on board and Gino can end up getting a single, maybe Dom can knock him in. Find a way. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Still plenty of time. 7th, 8th, and 9th. And again, we're very good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. In the 2025 season, we're very good with 2 outs, where we can go on a run for 1 to 5 runs with 2 outs. And there's only about 5 teams, that are like Seattle this year that can do that. So, not all is lost. Obviously, it's a shitty position, to be in at 3-1. But imagine it could be worse. We could be down 5-1, and then it probably would be over. So at least we're only down 2, and we still have a chance to at least tie it up. And, even if that means that we win 4-3 in 10, 11, or 12, I think everyone would take that. But again, we just have to try to chip away. Pitching change for the Rockies here. First pitch by Jimmy. Takes a strike looking low and away to Polo. 0-1 count. Come on, Polo. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Honestly, at this point, if we're not going to be able to really hit, we just need to hope that the pitchers have meltdowns in the pen and they just start walking a couple of our guys. And then the big home run happens after a couple guys get walked or they get plunked and they don't get hurt. Because obviously right now, the body language of the Mariner players isn't really the greatest. They're kind of like hunched over and obviously probably half of the team believes they can come back, and who knows, maybe the other half are thinking about what's for dinner, but we need to lock in here. Still can win this. Takes one bad pitcher, in a sequence of, 1 to 5 minutes to have a meltdown, and then the game could be tied. Just got to be able to see what we get here. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. We need a rally. Polo pops up. Hopefully that goes out of play. Oh, fuck, it's not going to. 1 away. All right, Mariner Moose. We need you. A's are up 2-1 on the Astros. Polo fouls out to the catcher. That's one away. All right, Gino, come on now. We don't need that 0 for 32, Gino. No hits, no home runs in 8 games, and then you go 4 for 4 the next game. We need the good Gino. And you don't even need a homer. Just get on base. 1-0 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Fucking A. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Come on, Gino. Good vibes only. He did go around. You already made an error at third. You got to make up for it. 1-1 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 7th. We're down by 2. We just got to try to get 1 run this inning. And then, if we get a home run, then obviously we can shoot for that next one. But again, we just have to chip away and try to get 1 run this inning and 1 run in the 8th. Or 2 in this inning or 2 in the 8th. Whatever is clever. 2-1 pitch. Inside with that sinker. 3 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Come on, baby. Yeah, Astros are losing to the Athletics at the moment. Yankees won. We need a Mariner win and we would clinch, but Rockies are not making it easy. 3-1 pitch. Inside. Wow, they called it a strike at the last minute. And that's a ball. If we had ABS, obviously that would be a challenge. But again, umps are not very good, so to speak. Calling balls, strikes, balls, and that could have been a walk to first. That was outside of the box, but of course, they screw us over on that call. Hopefully Gino will not strike out here, but hold your breath. 3-2 pitch, and he strikes out. Again, that's almost textbook. Once Gino has a bad thing go against him, goodbye. And he already made an error at third, so. All right, Tom, we're going to need a second home run from you. You might single-handedly be the reason why we come back in this game. You homered once to get the score from 1-0 to 1-1. We might need Dom, like when he DH'd for us a few games back, went 5 for 5 with 3 homers. Obviously, he's not going to do that, but he could definitely hit another homer here for us to cut into the lead. First pitch, big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Come on, Dom. Come on, Dom. We would need a Dom bomb, baby. 0-1 pitch, crushes that one, but fading foul. Still got to believe. Anything is possible. We were down 5-0 to the Astros in the 8th early in the year. And again, we scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings and won 7-6 in extras. So again, and we were looking much worse in that game than we have here today. So anything is possible. Down only 2 runs. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Dominic Canzone, and that's the end of the 7th inning. Now we're down to the last 2 innings to make a rally. But again, 1 run, 2 hits, and an error ain't going to get the job done, even against one of the shittiest teams in baseball. You got to get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, no matter who you're playing. And it kind of feels like, maybe we gave all our emotion, in that Astro series, and then we're flat. Obviously, that's what it looks like. And flat, a little overconfident, and thought that maybe we were going to coast to 3 victories. But, when you have Miller, Castillo, and no Woo, it's going to be the wins against the Rockies might actually be harder than the wins against the Dodgers. And, we'll play up to the competition against them, but not ideal. We have to be better. And again, we did something that no one thought we would do in sweeping the Astros in Houston. But now we're doing something that no one thought we would do. Possibly lose game 1 to the fucking Rockies. So we still have time, but they got to lock in here late. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run, right fielder Mickey Moniak. Batting second, catcher Hunter Goodman. And batting third, first baseman Blaine Kramp. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes, 100 on the dono train. And we're trying to hit 20 to 30 subs. Gain 6 more subs. And now we only need 79 to be able to hit 22,200. Shout out to all the new subs that we've acquired, 20 plus today. Let's go. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. And with almost 500 people in the room, we should be able to hit 300 likes if we can get some people in the chat that are regulars to help out with that. Athletics pouring it on the Astros. And looks like the Astros are a little bit flat after getting swept by the Mariners in Houston. And now the Athletics are up 3-1 against H-Town. Gabe Spire enters the matchup. Hopefully this is the good Gabe, not the bad. And at least Vargas didn't have a fucking meltdown, so that's good. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, right down the middle for a strike. That was beautiful. Spire on the mound, Mickey Moniak in the box. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. In the top of the 8th inning, the Mariners are down 2. We still have a chance, but we're running out of time. 1-1 pitch, gets a strike low and in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Spire to Moniak. 13 more to get to 300. TJ leading the charge. I appreciate it. Let's go. With 496 in the room, 13 should be no problem. 1-2 pitch. And Moniak crushes that one into left field, foul. And you got to realize, baseball is hard. It's hard to be consistent, game in and game out. There's 162 games. There's in the NBA with 82, or with the NFL with 17 in playoffs, or college football with 11 or 12 and the college football playoffs. It's a grind. This season goes from, March, April, all the way to potentially the last day of October or beginning of November if you get to Game 7 in the World Series. So, it's a good chunk of the year. Takes a lot of discipline. 2-2 pitch. And that's probably a terrible call there, but, umps have been terrible, and that's strike 3, but that probably shouldn't have been. That should have been probably a ball. But again, we've had bad calls for both teams, the Rockies and the Mariners, probably about 3 each up at this point. So, I guess he's bad, equally at this point. Next up is Hunter Goodman. And if we win a game, we clinch a playoff spot. And again, you have to be able to take every team serious. Even a team that's 43-113, 18-57 on the road. But again, when a pitcher is 0-4, their starter, and has an ERA of 9 and gets 10 Ks, well, it's not going to be easy to win. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Spire to Goodman, their best player. No balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Goodman. But we still have a chance. It might be a small chance, but we have a chance. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Spire to Goodman. Oh, National League pick? Man, that's tough. And there he goes. He goes around. And nice job by Gabe Spire there. And that is 2 away. Obviously, I like the Phillies a lot. I think that they are very battle-tested. Normally I say Dodgers, but they haven't looked good in the second half of the season. But we know with a flip of a switch, they can turn it on. But pitching and defense have been a little bit of a liability as well as injuries. So it doesn't really feel like the Dodgers. Padres aren't as good as they have been in previous years. Cubs are kind of flying under the radar. And obviously the Brewers have been pretty solid, but can they do it in the playoffs? That's the big question. So I think right now, I would say, you can't ever discount the Dodgers, but I would probably go like Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers. I would say those would be the three teams, and then after that, I would go Cubs. Right after the Dodgers, and then Padres, and then whoever the last team that gets in, whether that be the Mets or the Reds. But again, I think Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers kind of feels like those would be the most most acceptable, and then Cubs, and then obviously on the American League side, you got the Blue Jays and the Mariners. And everyone else, not to say that the Tigers, Guardians, Yankees, and Red Sox can't do it, but I feel like the Blue Jays and Mariners are a little bit better than those teams right now, and we'll have to earn it. But again, it starts here tonight. But Phillies have the playoff experience, so they have the edge on the Cubs and the Brewers. And the Dodgers have the experience as well, but they just haven't been playing very good in the second half. But again, we've seen it before, and they've turned it on. But it just doesn't feel like a World Series team this year, Yankees or Dodgers. They can make the playoffs, but it just doesn't feel like they're going. But we'll find out if that's true or not. Teams can get hot at any given time. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss to Beck. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Beck. But I would say, the team that is probably the most scary is probably Philadelphia, honestly. Like the Brewers are good, the Cubs are good, but Mariners don't have a problem with them. Dodgers, Padres, Mets, Reds, but I think Philadelphia is the scariest, because again, they've been so close on being able to go all the way, and they've had to run into a few speed bumps, but we will see. They've had some key injuries late as well, but Philadelphia is scary. Pitch fouled off by Beck. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. 3-1 Rocky lead. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got him. And Spire does a great job there. And again, I follow the entire league. I don't follow just the Mariners. I watch quite a bit of baseball and read up, and watch film and watch, vlogs and blogs and, reports from the reporters from that city. And, So again, we know the Brewers and the Cubs, obviously have been exciting this year, but they haven't really had that playoff experience, to go deep. So that might be something that, trips them up. Dodgers, obviously, we know have been good, and Padres, but they haven't been very strong this year. Very up and down. Second half of the season, Dodgers not very reliable. But again, Philadelphia, been good in the beginning, been good after the second half of the All-Star break, and it might be Philadelphia's, it might be theirs to lose. They might be the most favored based off experience, talent, pitching, defense, and hitters. But again, who knows? I mean, if the Cubs got hot at the right time, or the Brewers, they could make it. It's very possible, but we will find out. And same thing goes with, obviously Red Sox and, the Yankees and the Tigers, the Guardians, obviously Tigers are having a meltdown. The Guardians are trying to take the spot, and obviously we feel like the Blue Jays and the Tigers were, the best for a while, but now the Tigers are having a meltdown. Mariners have taken the spot, and now it's probably Blue Jays, Mariners. But again, just as, right when we feel like, okay, we're the second best team, if not the first best team in the American League, and then we come out with a dud like this after sweeping the Astros in Houston, winning 2 out of 3 in Kansas City and 2 out of 3 against Atlanta, that sparked, this big win streak that we've had. But I think it's one of those things. It's like you have to take every team serious. You can't just coast no matter how good you are. You have to be able to work at every single opportunity. And we had to learn the hard way here today against a guy that was 0-4 with an ERA of almost 10 that got fucking 10 Ks on us. Unacceptable, period. Next up is Victor Robles. On deck, JP Crawford. Batting third, Randy Arosarena. And we're going to need some fucking magic here. We need to score at least 1 in the 8th and then 1 in the 9th. But preferably, if we get 2 right here, that would be the best. We just have to hope for a meltdown. Now, Luke Raleigh coming in. And Luke's timing has been off all year, so we'll see how this works out. And Raleigh shows bunt, but takes strike. Or 1 count. And there we go. We finally get someone to have a meltdown, and Raleigh gets plunked on the leg. There we go. We'll take a little freebie there. Thank you so much for hitting us right off the inner knee. Hit by pitch. There we go. And that's exactly what we needed with no outs. Perfect. Now we just have to make sure we don't hit into any double plays. Come on, JP. First pitch to JP, high and away, 1-0 count. We just need a pitcher's meltdown. Start walking guys, plunking guys. Then we can steal bags. And then that, big home run or RBI can happen and will happen. 1-0 pitch, high and away. But that one's called a strike. Come on, ump. This ump is all over the place. Calling balls, strikes, balls. Fucking A, man. Bring the ABS in now. 1 ball and 1 strike to JP Crawford. Mejia on the mound, Crawford in the box. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. Come on, JP. Big swing and a miss on the 2-1 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. Come on, JP. Find a way to get on base if you're not going to homer. Let's go, JP. 2-2 pitch from Mejia incoming. Low and at the knees. There we go. Good eye. Three balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. Come on, Mariners. Take the walk if it's there. 3-2 pitch. And it's a walk, baby. Here we go. Runners at first and second with no outs. Meltdown is happening. Here we go. Kiki's dragging with a 3-er. And maybe if we get a dono train going, good things are going to happen. Stacks, racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. We're at 13, 87 to go to hit the goal. Let's go. Here we go. Never doubt, that we can't come back. Like I said, even when hitting, is off. Timing is off. We're striking out left and right against a guy that's 0-4 with an ERA of 9, and he had 10 Ks. You have to just understand, wait for the bullpen to come in, and they can have their own brash Vargas meltdown. It's going to happen to us, but guess what? It can happen to them. And now we're in prime position with runners at first and second and no outs to be able to tie this game up or maybe even take the lead. And again, once we get a couple fuck-ups, based off walks or guys getting hit, eventually the big home run happens. Will we get the home run right here by Randy Arozarena? Come on, Randy. First pitch right down the middle to Randy Arozarena. 0-1 count. You already had that fuck up in left field early in the game. This would be a good time to make up for it, Randy, in the box. 0-1 pitch with no outs, runners at first and second. Be patient. If you can get to pitch 5 or 6, maybe the home run will be there. But if you're going to be wild within the first 3 to 4 pitches, I don't want any double plays. We want this right here. Trident's up, a 3-run jack. 1-1 pitch from Mejia to Arozarena. Randy crushes it. Oh, and it fades foul at the last second. Oh, God. I was thinking that was going to be a double, and that would have tied the game up 3-3 for sure. On deck is Victor Robles. Or in the bullpen is Victor Vodnik, excuse me. Mando with a $5. I appreciate you. Come on, Randy. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Find a way to be the hero. You're a liability on defense, okay? But find a way to be a G, to be a hero here for the Seattle Mariners. Come on, Randy. Mejia on the mound. Arosarena in the box. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 looking. What the fuck? Oh. This fucking up. One away. All right, here we go. If there was a time that we needed Big Dumper to win a game for us with one swing, he can make it 4-3. And if we get the home run, we will win. Cal Raleigh. First pitch fouled off by the Big Dumper. 0-1 count. He's sitting at 58 home runs. If he gets this one, it'll be 59. But more importantly, it'll give us the 4-3 lead. And if we get the 4-3 lead, we won't look back. We will win. 100% based off momentum. Come on, Cal. 0-1 pitch. Cal crushes it towards first base, foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Appreciate you. Stacks. Racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Come on, Cal. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And he does. Fuck! And down goes Cal Raleigh off the check swing. Not ideal. 2 away. Come on, Mariners. Who's going to step up? Is it going to be you? Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. We're running out of time. We could really use a 3-run blast right here, right now. Come on, Julio. Even in RBI single, RBI double. First pitch right down the middle to Julio Rodriguez from Mejia. 0-1 count. Bottom of the 8th, runners at first and second with 2 outs. This might be our last opportunity depending on what we get in the 9th inning. 0-1 pitch. High and away. Good eye by Julio. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. Find a way. Dig deep. RBI single. RBI double. If he gets a double, it'll tie it up 3-3. Come on, J-Rod. You don't have to homer here to be a factor. Single, double, triple, home run. Come on, Julio. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Rockies. 1-2 pitch to Julio. Hits him! Off the elbow pad. I hope he's okay. And he's walking gingerly. But again, luckily he has that elbow pad. Because if not, that could be an injury where Julio might be out. And obviously he's bending over now. And that was a very, very fast pitch. 97 on the elbow. I hope he's okay. I mean, that one ricocheted and went towards first base like a fucking laser. And thankfully, he had the elbow pad. You know, his elbow might have lost some bone or cartilage if he wasn't wearing that pad. Next up is Josh Naylor, who started the game off with a single for us. And now we got Naylor in the box with bases loaded. Come on. Great opportunity here for Mariners. All right, we need the big grumper. We need Nails to get the job done. We got 741 in the room. We should be able to hit 300 likes. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes, 100 on the dono train. And we'll be looking to get 20 to 50 subs. Let's get it. We're on a commercial break. Gained 8 more subs. We were at that 20 to 30 sub range tonight. 71 to go to 22,200. And we would really, really need one of these. We get this and we go up 5-3. Obviously, momentum would be in our favor. But hell, at this point, I'll just take an RBI single, RBI double. And if we can get that, that'll tie the game up or at least get us to 3-2 if he gets an RBI single. Let's go, Naylor. We need you. And then Victor Vodnik is now coming in. All right, Victor Vodnik coming in for Mejia, and hopefully he has a meltdown right here. Vodnik on the mound. Our boy, Nails, big grumper, Josh Naylor in the box. Let's go, Josh. 331 now. Let's see if we can get to 400 before the stream is up. And all the regulars, if you can help out with that, that'll get us there. First pitch, high and away. Ooh, I like this. Meltdown. Maybe we'll get a walk, and that runner from third will just dance in. If you're going to have first pitch be 5 feet off the plate, almost behind, if he didn't make that grab, that would have brought a runner in from third. 1-0 count. Call on Naylor. Be patient. He's wild. 1-0 pitch, inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And it looks like if he just stays patient, that runner from third will come in. Don't be greedy here. Take the walk if it's there. We'll bring in that runner from third, and that'll make it 3-2. 2-0 pitch. Naylor in the gap, in the gap. Go, go. All the way back to the Nintendo sign. Go, 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 go. Back. Let's go. We're tied up at 3, baby. Never doubt us. Never, ever doubt us, no matter how much we're down, no matter how bad it looks. That brings in 3-4-3 Mariners. Let's go. He brings in all the runners from first, second, and third. Raleigh scores. Rodriguez scores. Crawford dances in at the very end. 4-3 Mariners with 2 outs to go. Let's go. And again, you know, when we were down early, you know, when you got a pitcher that's 0-4 with an ERA of 9, right, and he gets 10 Ks, it doesn't look good. But again, never, ever refuse to lose and doubt us. Big play by Naylor. And if that play single-handedly doesn't deserve an extension for life to be a Seattle Mariner for life, I don't know what the fuck does. Beautiful. Hell yeah. Big play. 1-0 pitch to Pono, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. I mean, the only thing better in that situation would have been a grand salami, but we'll take a 4-3 lead after getting our ass kicked this whole game. Great job, Nails. 1-1 pitch, and it shows you 1 meltdown by 1 pitcher is all it takes. And again, we got it. And again, we were lucky that Julio got hit. We had the bases loaded. Everyone came in. Right, Julio got hit, Raleigh got hit. That didn't happen in the first part of the game, and luckily it happened at the end of the game. Huge. Huge. Pitch is low and at the knees. 3-1 count to Jorge Polanco. Let's go. Hell yeah. 3-1 pitch, and that's a walk, baby. Meltdown. Polo's on board. Let's go. Polo at first. Naylor at second. Next up, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Could you imagine if he goes yard here? Let's go, Gino. Good vibes only. You had an error at third. Time to make up for it. Let's go. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that we scored all three guys, and obviously, JP being the last. It looked like we might only get two, but then we ended up getting that last guy to come home. Raleigh and Julio came in first, and then it took a lot of hustle there, and we got that last runner to come in, and that was amazing. Naylor. I mean, that's one of the best pickups that the Mariners have had in the last 15 to 20 years, and hopefully he will be a Seattle Mariner for life. Huge. Hell yeah. $875 in the room. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes. Let's go. My phone is blowing up, but I can't message my friends right now. We're busy. Calling the game. Bodnick with the meltdown. First pitch to Gino. Big swing and a miss. 100 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And at this point, we don't even need the home run. Just get on base. Continue the rally. 0-1 pitch. Check swing. Does he go? No, he does not. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Naylor was the guy that got the first hit of the game after fucking 4 or 5 innings of garbage baseball for the Mariner hitters. And again, not only does he start the game, he finishes the game. 1-1 pitch. Gino crushes it towards third base. Foul. And hopefully we can get that hit towards third base to go all the way to the wall in left field. And again, if that happens, that will end up scoring 1 or 2. If he doesn't homer here. Don't really feel the home run from him in my ESP at the moment, but hopefully he'll be able to get on base with a single. Big swing and a miss, and down Gino goes. And that is out number 3, but not after the Mariners being down 3-1, scored 3 by Josh Naylor. He gets a double with 3 RBIs. You couldn't have asked for anything better besides a grand salami. And now we're in position to win this game here in the top of the 9th. Time to bring out Andres Munoz and fucking close this door down. Let's go. It's Mooney time, baby. And just think, if Naylor doesn't make the play, Mooney doesn't come out here. Let's go. Never, ever doubt this team. And it's very easy to get negative, when things aren't going our way against an opponent that's not in our league. But again, you have to earn it, especially if we want to be able to win the division, AL West, if we want to be able to go to the ALDS, ALCS, and we want to go to the World Series, we have to be able to play a full 9-inning game. And thankfully, Josh Naylor bailed us out here today. Nice job by Josh Naylor. You're the fucking man. We need that Soto mojo, the refuse to lose, the trident's up. Let's go. We got Luis Castillo on the mound tomorrow, and then no Brian Wood with the pec being sore. Maybe we'll call up Logan Evans, and then obviously we have Kirby, Gilbert, and then Miller, which would be in the Dodgers, unless they move those guys ahead a game, and whatnot. So we'll see how we go with the rotation, but at the moment, we only have the 4, not obviously Brian Wu. We may not see him until the playoffs. Just rest him. But again, bringing up Logan Evans for Game 3 at home, I think would work. And then we can go with Kirby, Gilbert, and then Miller for the last 3 games against the Dodgers. But again, there's a lot of games where it looks like we're going to lose, and you have some people being negative early on when we were down because the Rockies are a bad team, and we had so much emotion, beating Houston in a sweep in Houston, and there was a little bit of a letdown, right? Maybe a little too overconfident, coasting, so to speak. But again, big players find a way to win, right? Good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose, and we found a way to get Josh Naylor to be the man. First pitch from Munoz. In there for a strike to Tovar, 0-1 count. Ezequiel Tovar in the box. Andres Munoz on the mound. 0-1 pitch. And that goes behind the plate, foul. No balls and 2 strikes for Andres Munoz. Let's go. Huge comeback, man. 0-2 pitch. High and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Tovar. And again, I'm going to remember this game for a long, long time. And again, it's the Rockies. They're not a good team. But again, you have to earn it if you want to be able to, move in the direction you want to go. Nothing is given. You have to take it. And we took it with Josh Naylor. Thankfully, we had that meltdown by Victor, and that's what we needed. Victor Vodnik, thank you so much. Pitch is low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mooney to Tovar. 2-2 pitch. Got him! Big swing and a miss. Mooney is locked in. That was beautiful. See you later. Bringing the electricity. Ezekiel Tovar, 1 away. Next up is Brenton Doyle. On deck, Kyle Karros. Come on, M's. This will be one of the most satisfying comebacks besides the Astros being up 5-0 early in the year in the 8th inning, and we won 7-6 in extras, scoring 7 runs in the 8th and 9th combined. This has vibes like that, and this one feels good. Could be a springboard win the rest of the way. First pitch low and away, 1-0 count to Doyle. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. To Brenton Doyle. Come on, Mooney. Let's go, Mariner Moose. You did it. Josh Naylor, you did it. Popped up. And that goes. There we go. Cal making the play in foul territory. Doesn't homer today. Comes up with a big out. 2 away. 1 out away from the biggest comeback in ages for the Mariners. 0-4 pitcher, right? ERA of 9, had 10 Ks. We didn't get anything going into the 5th inning, had no hits, and found a way to come back with a double by Naylor that brings home 3 when we're down 3-1, and now we're up 4-3 with 1 out to go to win. First pitch in there for a strike. Mooney is on. 0-1 count. Mooney on the mound. Kyle Karros in the box. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. He's locked in. We are 1 strike away from victory. Unbelievable. I love this fucking team too. And again, for all those people that were being negative early on, those are the fair weather fans, not the diehard. It's easy to be negative. You have to have faith in 2025. 0-2 pitch. Got it. We're in the playoffs, baby. We did it. Yankees won. Thank you, New York. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Fuck yeah. What a comeback. We're in the playoffs, baby. Yes. Hell yeah. And for, more than half of the game, it looked like there was not a very good chance of coming back. But it shows you, if you have that fight and you have that grit and you have that belief, you can make shit happen. We're going to the playoffs, baby. Magic number for the AL West is 2 more games. Final score after being down 3-1 and a double by Naylor that brings home 3 to be able to go up 4-3, and that was it. Final score, Mariners 4, Rockies 3. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Playoffs. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300, 400, 500 likes. Shout out to all the people that helped out with the Dono Train. Sarah, Chief, Kiki's Dragon, Mando. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Casey, I see you. Casey with a $40 dono. Thank you, Casey. And that definitely does help. Let's go. Vibes are high, baby. Casey with a $40 dono. That definitely does help. We appreciate you very, very much. Stacks. Rax with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Mariners are in the playoffs. And again, if you were watching this game, you would have thought there's no way we're going to come back, right? For the longest time. We didn't even get our first hit till, around the 5th inning by Josh Naylor, right? We're playing October baseball. But again, you just have to be patient. And we know about meltdowns. We've had meltdowns with Brash, right, who gave up 4 runs. We lost. We had a meltdown by Vargas in Houston, but we were up 6-0. We won 6-4. Right? So we're used to having meltdowns happen to us, but guess what? Meltdowns happen for the other team as well. And we were really lucky that Naylor got that 3-run RBI double. I mean, how often do you get a 3-run RBI double? Like even in the regular season, like it's so fucking rare, like a grand salami is. And again, if Josh Naylor hasn't proved that he needs to be a Mariner for life, I don't know what else that he needs to do. Unfucking believable. Sign this guy, blank check. Keep him on the team forever. 2 for 4, a single, a double with 3 RBIs. And again, if we didn't have Josh Naylor, we don't win this game, period. Unbelievable. And this will be one of the more memorable games, I think, for not only me, but for a lot of you guys as well. Eli with a 10er. Appreciate you. Stacks. Rax with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Another $10 dono on the dono train. Appreciate you. Appreciate the Casey as well on that dono train. Awesome, man. Oh, man. And again, we're probably not going to have Luis Castillo on the team next year, or Gino, or Garver. So there's going to be money that's available. And again, we got to 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, if we want to be able to go to the playoffs in consecutive years, Josh Naylor has to be a guy that is a part of that equation with Julio, with Cal, with JP, right? And again, we may not see Castillo, Garver, or Gino on the team next year. There'll be plenty of funds. Make it happen. Huge fucking win. Let's go. And again, for some of us, this has been a long journey. I've been a fan of 40 years. There's been, people in here that have been fans within the last 5, and there's no problem with that. But again, we've only had like 5 good years in 40 years. 95, 97, 2001, 2022 with Cal with the walk-off against the Athletics, and now 2025. But if we keep playing like this and we keep building the farm and keep playing like this, we might be able to make the playoffs more than 1 year in a row. Maybe we can do it 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. And again, that's a very special thing to think of here today. Unbelievable. Take care, Megan. Have a good trip. And again, there wasn't very many good seasons, early on, 95, 97, 2001. Then we had 20 years in a drought with no playoffs. But then we made it in 2022 in Cal, Julio, and Kirby's rookie year. And now we have the right pieces, that we've added to this team to be able to be competitive moving forward. And I think that's the most exciting thing, as far as being a Seattle Mariner fan is. We're a small market. People are going to doubt us, but if you look at our roster, arguably we got the best roster in the American League. We may not have the best record, but I think we have the best roster, top to bottom. Starters, pitching, bullpen, bench, farm. Now we just have to put our head down and earn it. And thankfully we have Josh Naylor, because if not, we lose this game 3-1 100% of the time. Huge. And now this will give us momentum going into tomorrow to be able to beat the Rockies again with Luis Castillo, who has been kind of on or off like Miller. And then Wu is off, obviously with the So we might call up Logan Evans, which I would feel comfortable with that. And then we'll have Kirby, Gilbert, and then Miller. If not, and we go with a 4-man rotation, then obviously we would have Kirby in the last game against the Rockies, but I don't think we want to do that. We want to save Kirby, Gilbert, and obviously Miller for the Dodgers. So, oh, baby. We're in the postseason, baby. And the celebration continues. Let's go. Alex with a 20. Appreciate you. Every dollar counts. And again, this is your number one source for Seattle Mariner coverage, not only this year, but for many, many years moving forward. Stacks, racks, with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Appreciate you, Alex. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. Another 20 on the Dono train. Tridents up. Go, M's. We're in the playoffs, baby. Yankees did their part. Athletics were trying to do theirs against the Astros. But again, not the most ideal start to a game. But remember, it's not how you start. It's how you finish. And again, Josh Naylor is arguably the biggest pickup that we've ever had in our team history, at the deadline. We had Randy last year. This year was Gino and Naylor. But I don't think there's ever been a more likable, clutch player, stealing bags, playing offense, playing defense than Josh Naylor. And again, I have a feeling that, Naylor's love from the Seattle fan base is going to grow to heights that we never even imagined. Unbelievable. And now they're getting lined up for the team pick with the October baseball shirts. Beautiful. AL West, no problem. ALDS, here we come. ALCS, here we come. World Series, here we go. Let's go, baby. Mariners, Phillies, Mariners, Brewers, Mariners, Dodgers, Mariners, Cubs, Mariners, Padres. And obviously, we don't think it'll be the Mets or the Reds. No disrespect. But again, we're a little ways from that. But again, we have a chance. Just as good as any team. Right now, us and the Blue Jays are probably the hottest teams. And then you got the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Astros, the Guardians. They're in the mix. But if you're looking at those other teams, they're not as deep as the Blue Jays and obviously the Mariners at the moment. And the Tigers were in the conversation before they hit a big fucking slide. And the Guardians might take their spot, for being a team that might have the worst meltdown at the end of the year. Just like the Mets, 45-24 to start the season, and then almost the opposite on the back end. And again, you have to start strong, but you have to finish strong as well. Let's go. When it was 1-0, some people lost faith. When it was 3-1, people lost faith. And it shows you, if you still have the game on and you were still here, we can enjoy this together. Never say die, never say quit, and it's not over until the last pitch is thrown and they say strike 3 and the game's over. As long as the game is still playing, you have a chance. And we have proven that year in, year out, game in, game out. This feels really, really good. We got Dan on the mic now here on Root Sports with the interview. And Dan isn't even really that great of a manager. I mean, imagine if Dan makes it to the World Series in his first year, And we got Edgar and we got Seitzer, so we have to be lucky that we have good assistant coaches to help out with Dan Wilson. And it's not like there's a bunch of great managers that are out there. Out of 30 teams, there's like 5. So obviously he's very conservative. He really copies a lot of what the other managers do. Sometimes doesn't really go outside the box. We can't expect him to be Lou Piniella, but with all that being said, congratulations, Dan Wilson, you did it. Cal on the mic. He said, go win the whole fucking thing. Let's go. Let's go. He said, let's go win the whole fucking thing. Cal, my boy. And I got the jersey on today, too. just like when JP said the same type of thing. And they got the tarps up, and they got the champagne out, and there's going to be a celebration, obviously, here as everyone makes their way back into the locker room area. Champagne will be flowing. Awesome, man. And again, for a good majority of this game, thinking of this scenario was like not even on our brains. We were thinking, oh God, this isn't looking good. Pitcher's 0-4, got an ERA of 9. He's got 10 Ks. We didn't get our first hit out of Naylor until like the fucking 5th inning. And then again, it was 1-0. Dominic Canzone got the homer. We tied it up 1-1. And then obviously they got that big RBI on Bizzardo. Not ideal. Then we're down 3-1. And again, there's no time to feel sorry for ourselves. We just have to hope that they have a meltdown. And eventually they did. And we ended up having bases loaded because what? Raleigh got hit. Julio got hit. If that doesn't happen, maybe we don't win. And then obviously Josh Naylor coming up big with that double that scored 3. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And honestly, if it only scored 2, I think that we would have won 4-3 in extra innings. But the Mariners said, nah, we're going to do it in regulation. And they did. Josh Naylor, what a fucking G. And obviously I'm watching the celebration here in the locker room. And it almost feels like yesterday when I was watching the 2022 celebration when Cal walked off and broke the drought, 20 years plus of not making the playoffs. And vibes are very, very high. We're in the playoffs. I mean, we already knew we were going to be in the playoffs, but it's like you got to officially get in. And now we're in. And it feels like, something special is brewing with this 2025 team. Everyone's drinking beers. They got the Miller Lights. They got the champagne. Everyone's got goggles. Everyone's got the October baseball Mariner shirt on. Oh, man, this is good. Yeah, a little bit different from the old school days. Obviously, instead of actually winning the division, I agree, reflect. But I guess at this point, sometimes certain traditions end up being a little bit different as, the game moves forward, with the ABS coming into play in 2026. And there's definitely been some changes with, no shifting and the pitch calm. So obviously this is still, one of America's pastimes. There's going to be some modifications, as we move forward. But it feels really, really good that we are in the postseason. Now we can look to tomorrow with Luis Castillo. Maybe we'll end up getting Logan Evans to pitch for Woo in game number 3. Kirby, Gilbert, and Miller against the Dodgers. And again, we are still going to try to go 6-0 in these last 6 games. First game, we accomplished that. Now we got 5 games to go 5-0. Well, it's not like we're partying like we won it all. It's just about making the playoffs. You have to realize it's not like the Mariners make the playoffs every year, 95, 97, 2001, 2022, and now. So, again, we'll do the celebration here, and then obviously winning the division. If we go there, as we go to the playoffs, every series we win, there will be a celebration. And, again, it feels good to be a Seattle Mariner fan. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to Sarah, Chief Will Chief, Kiki's Dragon, Mando, Eli, Alex, and let me go here to check some of the other apps here as well to see where we're at. Give me one sec. Got to make sure we check the Venmo and the Cash App, make sure we're not leaving anyone else behind. Okay, looks like we're good there. And then shout out on the Cash App too. Big shout out to Casey with the $40 dono. And I appreciate you guys very, very much. Again, I will be live, obviously tomorrow, same time, same place. Game number 2 against the Rockies. We're in the playoff. And again, Josh Naylor, the most valuable piece at the deadline, hands down, for anyone that got any piece. We got 2 of the top 4 in Gino and Naylor. Naylor looking like the number 1 piece at the deadline and making the difference for the Seattle Mariners. Feels really, really good. So shout out to the Big Grumper. Shout out to Nails. And hopefully we end up giving the blank check and we have Naylor for the rest of his career. We need to. He is so valuable. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. The Mariners are in the playoffs. And again, final score, Mariners 4, Rockies 3. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. The Mariners are in the playoffs in 2025. Shout out to Josh Naylor. Tridents up. Go Mariners.